back to 1010's podcast with Michael and Adam and Robbie.
Sleeping Robbie.
Sleepy Robbie.
I'm awake, sort of.
Robbie's had many adventures.
You don't appear
many
to have
work
like
adventures.
a caffeinated beverage or anything with you.
Not since like 11 o'clock.
Can I ask you a question?
Pick me up.
Yeah.
Do you drive long distances in normal weather or just shitty weather?
No, because every time we go to Grid Life, it fucking rains. Every time I drive to go pick up a car, it snows.
Oh, I forgot that we...
Anytime I drive to anything for work, it snows.
I forgot that we pulled your car through the torrential rain of Grid Life. Both directions.
Yeah, on the way back, I was just like, dude, I can't do it anymore.
I know.
And I made you drive way too long.
Our trip to PRI was fine.
Was it? I don't even remember.
It was cold.
Well, yeah,
Maybe
but
it's
the
okay
weather
if I
was
don't
perfectly acceptable. It was
it wasn't
sunny
shitty.
and fine, and it was a bit on the chilly side, but it wasn't.
I'll take cold.
You know what? I'll take the weather we had at PRI over this bullshit any day.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, we're going to finish up here and there's going to be a couple inches of snow on the ground.
That's what I'm afraid of.
So if you hear Robbie snoring, or if you hear somebody snoring,
It's probably me.
it's Robbie. He's very tired. Also means
I'm
he's
not
very
so-
chill.
I'm not so bad.
You're kind of chill right now.
I'll wake up as this goes, I'm sure.
Sounds like
or pass out.
Kind of sounds like an R&B station. We're bringing it down.
Yeah, we're going to bring it down.
Low and slow.
Funky beats. I don't know how to transition out of that now.
No.
That we're here. I have no idea where to go.
Beats with Robbie Veerhout.
Funky beats with Robbie Veerhout. That should be a show, dude.
I'm not smooth
You can
enough
tell
for
us
that.
about all of your favorite R&B artists.
Keith Sweat.
No idea who that is.
R. Kelly?
Oh, you know. No. You're not allowed to like R. Kelly anymore.
Damn it.
It's like
not
Chris
so-
Brown. It's like,
yeah,
ooh.
It's not socially acceptable anymore, guys. I'm sorry.
Well, even when it was, I wasn't like the biggest fan, so
No.
I'm not losing anything.
I only liked one of his songs anyway.
Yeah.
And then Dave Chappelle made a Piss on You remix of it.
That was way better.
Great.
It was way
It was
better.
better.
Drip, drip, drip.
It's
Oh,
on
God.
you. It's on you.
Wow.
I want to turn your body into a porta potty. You remember that?
Yes. Yes. That was.
It's a classic
that was the
line. It's an American treasure. Are you kidding me?
Oh God.
Turn your face to a toilet seat. Remember that?
If you don't, Google it.
Yeah, if you don't know what that
Like,
is, if you're
seriously,
too
for real.
young or something,
Oh.
you don't know about Chappelle's show, your
Yeah.
life is about to
So,
change.
Yeah.
I was working with a kid like 2 weeks ago who didn't know was familiar with Dave Chappelle,
But not familiar
but
with the
not
show.
the show. And I was like, I don't know what you're doing right now. You're supposed to be working, but I'm still not real sure what you're doing right now. So you just will get on YouTube and fix that problem.
You should just buy the whole damn thing.
Yup.
Whatever it costs to buy both seasons, buy it.
It's available on Amazon. Otherwise,
Watch it.
it's available on torrents everywhere. You need-
It's
Yeah.
not. Is it really on
Oh,
Amazon?
you can probably just
I don't know. Not at Prime.
You can-
I think you
oh,
can buy
purchase
it.
it,
You can
yeah.
purchase
I might
it.
still
You can-
buy it.
You could get them used for like nothing.
you can
Oh.
piece it together
I'll do
clip by
that.
clip on YouTube.
That too.
Oof, so- man.
You know what
That's
I mean?
a lot of work though.
Sometimes I watch that still and I'm just crying. Like I'm gonna die.
Dude, was there-
I've seen it 10 times. It's
Was there
hilarious.
anything better
Oh.
than God, now I can't remember his name. The guy who was always
Wayne
on
Brady.
Wayne. Was there anything better than
was-
the Wayne Brady skit?
No.
Seriously,
That was the best 5 minutes of television in the history of television.
Robbie. I think that's one thing we might strongly agree on.
Yep.
Wayne Brady gonna have to choke a bitch?
It's
Run, bitch! Run for your life! Get some help!
Oh my God, it was so
the best.
amazing.
Yep.
I loved
No,
it so
I-
much.
The whole Rick James thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I almost didn't make it through that. I was probably laying on the ground the first time I saw that. Thought I was gonna die. Him grinding his boots in the couch and slapping Charlie Murphy. Oh man, that was rough.
You know what is popular in podcasting is doing TV show review podcasts.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
of the Chappelle show, like 20.
you guys have really jumped the shark here. You're
You guys are a little late.
gone a
to
little
the
too
game.
far. You know what though? But
Hey.
that'd be the most
There
popular.
was a
Without a doubt.
there was a Dukes of Hazzard review.
Yeah, but that'd be old enough that I suppose this would be old enough too.
And that was quite popular. Still is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Even if it's kind of not quite socially acceptable anymore.
No,
Eh.
Which I think Chappelle's show is
Probably not quite socially acceptable.
Bell
anymore.
show's terrible.
but it was equally terrible to everybody. So it was fine.
It was equally offensive to everybody.
Like this show.
The racial draft was great.
Yes.
What was it? Blind black. White
The black white
supremacists?
supremacists. Yeah,
That was good too.
the blind black white supremacists. That came out, and I was like 12 years old.
Yeah.
and I was watching that, and I was like, "Who's getting away with this? This is outrageous."
It's like Blazing Saddles would never happen this day and age.
I don't even try to watch it on TV because I don't want to know what they've done to it.
I'm
to Blazing Saddles.
I'm sure it's been ruined.
No.
Yeah. Crazy stuff. Shall we do our opener? Or
Yeah.
Adam's opener, I suppose. Presented by Factor Fabrication.
So I was listening to another podcast, as I occasionally do. Not as much as I used to. Not as much as I wish I could.
Because this is the best one.
Right.
Should we listen to this one?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I listened to for entertainment, not education, like Robbie. But they were talking about everybody's favorite topic, the Toyota Supra.
The new one.
And we've beat that to death, and I don't really want to get into it. But they kind of brought up like an interesting point about how Toyota has seemed to just like, I don't feel like developing a sports car anymore. I'm gonna let somebody else do it. So you've got their Subaru tied together and their BMW tied together, and and it got me kind of thinking. This is not where they went with it, but it got me kind of thinking like, what would be some other interesting or bad, good or bad, a little bit of both maybe, corporate mashups that we could come like. What if Mitsubishi came out with a new Evolution that Subaru helped build?
That'd be super weird. And probably sabotage.
Would everybody love it or hate it?
Probably hate it.
Everybody would probably hate it. Everybody hates this car.
Yeah, this isn't good.
I still haven't decided how I feel about it.
Yes. It is a bit disturbing, the number of BMW parts.
It might not be the car we want, but it's the car we deserve.
Yeah, we did this to us. This is our fault.
Did we do this to ourselves?
Yes.
Well, we quit buying manuals, and we quit buying fun and exciting cars, and we quit making that a profitable endeavor. So but we act like we want it, and we talk about it like we need it, and in order to keep us happy, they have to find other ways to produce those cars, and that means that they have to join forces with other manufacturers and make the same cars with different bodies. This is our own fault.
It's a very valid point.
It's no one's fault but our own.
It's the entire readership of Jalopnik. It's their fault.
I think it's every single car guy in some way, shape, or form has to blame for, or can share some level of blame for this situation.
Yeah, quit your bitching about it already. There you go.
Nobody's fault but our own.
This is a bit of an aside to that.
Okay.
But I don't know why I do this myself. I should stop. But do you look at car and drivers' comments about things?
Yes, I read all the comments on every article.
Not even the articles, but just on like Instagram.
Yes.
Why are people so angry about shit?
It's my own mistake. I know better,
It's like a train wreck.
but I have to.
Why are
read
people
them
so angry?
I don't
about
know,
everything.
man.
It doesn't matter, good
That's
or
the
bad.
dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen.
But you know what's
like, well,
interesting
guess-
is
don't
like
buy it then.
none of those people have made their way here yet.
To our show,
Yeah.
they will.
I know. I can't wait.
But they're hypercritical of anything that anybody ever does. But they don't buy anything.
And they're also people, they're people like who are hypercritical about the Supra and will never be able to buy the Supra.
Yes.
So that's kind of what I'm interested in seeing is when this car is actually available for sale and the people who have the money to buy it, will they choose to? Because I think that everyone who's vocal about hating it can't buy it because aren't going to because they can't, not because they don't want it, but because they couldn't do it if they wanted to. But that's a whole different thing.
Yeah, the money will talk. And
Yeah.
I still think it won't sell, but again, that's coming from a person that won't buy it.
I've seen an oddly large number of BMW guys who are surprisingly interested in this
That's
car,
what I was wondering. If people that want a BMW sports car, if they'll go, ooh, it's kind of a little bit more hardcore Z4 on the cheap.
Yeah, I like this, but I want my Z4, but I don't like convertibles.
And I'm a BMW guy. That's probably the trick.
We should ask some of the BMW guys.
The other thing I saw,
we don't know anybody that buys new BMWs. We just know people that buy.
The other thing
BMWs.
I saw that Speed Hunters wrote an article about this car. We've gotten completely off of what I had originally started here, but that's fine. Speed Hunters had written an article about this car saying that they think that this car could save Japanese tuning shops because it is a BMW in every way to a company like HKS. So modding that 6-cylinder, developing parts and tunes and things like that for that 6-cylinder, rotating assemblies, race spec engines, stuff like that, for the Toyota, at the same time they're doing it for the BMW, which opens them to a new market they've never touched before. It's completely new to them. So you're going to get Japanese tuning shops building European car parts, and that's something that isn't really a thing as it stands today.
Yes, that's an interesting theory as well.
Yeah, we'll see how that plays out.
So
It's kind of one of those indirect.
advantages.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's all good things.
Yeah, and as soon as somebody puts one of these on the dyno and makes 600 horsepower or whatever, everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, yeah, that's
Right.
pretty cool," and
Yeah.
then everybody's gonna change their tune. So I'm with you on that.
At the end of the day, I just want to know how well it handles, because this day and age, that we've proven time and time again that a horsepower number is nothing. That a 200 horsepower car can be significantly faster than a 250 horsepower car, and vice versa, as long as it's got a decent chassis and a properly equipped, like a real decent transmission and a reasonable final drive and stuff like that. So just because it makes 335 horsepower doesn't mean it's going to be a slow piece of shit car. So,
Right.
Very true.
and 335 horsepower is still probably just about as quick as anything that any of us own.
Yeah, it's right up there.
So, but it's not what I brought us here for.
What was your original question, Adam?
I was
What's
just-
a mashup? We're gonna do a mashup.
Yeah, it was one of those things that I felt like we couldn't quite make a full
Topic out of
topic out of it, so I was just going to throw it in here real quick.
What's a mashup?
Just like think something
Chevy and Ford made that transmission together.
right, but like if you could think of somebody who does really good about making engines and stuff like that, but they just don't quite get the rest of car design.
So basically, what you're saying is GM should just supply engines to other people.
Right, but so if
that's
you
what he's
could
saying.
if you could choose
Yeah.
who.
This.
So
The
would you
Supra.
buy
If there was an
be,
LS Supra, I would be interested in that.
would
yes.
you be in the front line to buy an LT1 powered new LT
Yeah.
Genesis?
Coupe?
Sure. Coupe, sedan, whatever.
No. I might be first in line to buy an LS Supra. Or
Yeah.
an LT Supra. Yeah, I might be interested in that.
I think
Way better than the Camaro.
Yes.
I would buy an American V8 powered Audi.
Yes, if they made an LT
You know what would be
R8.
you know what would be great is a Coyote powered RS6 with a supercharger.
Yes, that would be way more appealing than the twin turbo
Nonsense.
4-liter V8
that I can't
sounds
trust.
like a ticking time bomb
Yeah.
with a 36,000 mile warranty or whatever it is.
Right.
Maybe it's,
But
maybe it's a little more
but
than that, but it's
a-
not that much more than that.
A Coyote, they sound good. Put a supercharger on it to get the right amount of power you need to
Makes similar
earn the
power.
RS6 badge.
Makes similar power to what
Yeah.
it makes, I'm sure, and
That'd be
way
s-
more reliable.
That'd be a sweet little ride. But I wouldn't want an Audi engine in a Mustang.
No, that's
no.
that.
That's
That doesn't
bad.
make any sense.
That's not
That would
good.
be a bad corporate mashup.
Actually, the GT350 engine in the R8. How cool would that be?
Rear wheel drive only.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Like a cheap entry level R8. Because they don't have a V8 R8 anymore.
And then that would be the GT that we wanted.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. They should do that.
That would be super rad.
I think Nissan should team up with whoever.
GM and make an LS swap
No,
to
no, I'm
370Z.
I'm not talking just LS swap and everything because that's not what I mean.
How dare you?
I mean
Who are you? He's
they need to
clearly
take-
quite tired.
They need to take the GTR and the 370Z, completely redesign them. So you take somebody from the design team of the Ford GT or the new Corvette, and
Porsche, maybe?
Yeah, Porsche. Nah, no. I think if you want a totally new look for either one of those cars, go to something a little more radical like a GT or like the Corvette, and just kind of mash those cars up and totally redo your GTR and your 370Z. Because Nissan doesn't make a bad motor.
Okay.
And I'm not saying all the motors are great. I'm saying
Well, no,
I'm saying they make good engines that go into those cars.
The motor that's in the GTR is proven to be a hell of a platform.
Right. So you just you move forward with an upgrade on that, and then you just completely redesign the look of it, but not go too far into like
Well, see, I think
that
like
concept they had.
like Corvette or Ford GT guy would be the right guy because they clearly know how to build a car that pays homage to the heritage while
Correct.
still looking forward.
Yes.
Because the C7 and the Ford GT are both strikingly good-looking cars on their own, but you know what they are. You know that's a Corvette.
Yes.
But it's still a good-looking car even on its own. Because some of those retro cars didn't work right.
The Thunderbird.
Right. Exactly. There was a lot. It wasn't just the look that was a problematic with that car. There was a lot wrong with it.
There was a lot wrong with the Thunderbird.
But yeah, the Ford GT and the Corvette are really good examples of being able to pay homage to your heritage while still building a progressive and forward-looking car.
Yeah.
If Nissan could put together a new 370Z that was turbocharged, smaller capacity, turbocharged, that was even $5,000 less than that Toyota,
I think they'd have
home
something.
run.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think anybody they'd go, okay, so this is a Nissan with Nissan parts in it, a Nissan warranty, Nissan engine, or I can have this Toyota, which is a BMW, which sounds like a fucking nightmare. I'm going to pick the Nissan, and it's cheaper.
You know what they should put in there is the V8 that they put in the trucks.
The truck V8.
Yeah.
I
Give
think
it a little bit of some racy parts.
I think the turbo is important to
No, I think you're right.
the tuning.
I think the
Yes.
tuning capability,
Yeah, I think
the
we do-
aftermarket support of the car.
Yeah, I think we exist in a space where people, the target buyer, will consider tuning options for a car. Maybe not. Maybe they might
As
go,
a purchase.
They might go, well, like, yeah, it's turbocharged, so we could turn it up later, even though they may never do it. They kind of go, yeah, I could do that at some point,
Yeah, I think
or I
you're
could
right.
turn it into a race car, blah, 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 even though they may never, ever do that. I still think they kind of tell themselves that
Yeah, they do.
they might do
100%.
that. Yeah.
As I shop for cars, like with the thought of replacing what I have and trying to figure out what I want to do with myself, buying a turbocharged car over a naturally aspirated car is hard to ignore
Yeah.
because the
Potential.
cheap potential is much higher. But the biggest thing and I think that this is going to happen when they redo the Z. The thing that I'm going to be the most upset about personally is because it's going to be a smaller displacement, but they're still going to call it.
It's going to be the 390Z.
It's
Yeah,
going to
it's
be
gonna be a
the it's
bigger
going to be the
number.
390Z or the 400Z or something like that, and it's going to have like a 2-liter turbo motor in it. That's going to upset me.
None of these names make sense. Everybody knows that.
I know, but that one always has from the beginning to now. They're the only one at this point. I think I can safely say they're the only holdout that hasn't fucked that up.
Yeah.
Well, Infinity's fucking it up. That's
I'm
Nissan.
talking Z cars specifically.
Oh, you know what they should do? They should make a 2-liter inline 6. Call it the RB20-2 or whatever. Put that in the 3. What are we calling it? We're going to call it the.
390.
It'll be the 200Z.
Yeah, but you can't do that.
I would. That's what I would tell them to do.
Yeah, but you can't.
Can't go
Unfortunately, the marketing of it, you can't put a smaller number on a newer car. No one will buy it.
I'd do it.
I just thought
Nissan,
of,
call me. I'll market that.
I
I'll be
just
the
thought of
marketing director.
I just thought of the best mashup. A Giulia Quadrifoglio
Yes.
with the ATS-V motor.
Yes. Sold. I'll have one.
That would be what's up.
Yeah, that'd work.
Because that's a great car with a probably not so. It's probably a great engine.
Right now.
when
It's
it
right-
works.
it's great right
but
now.
tomorrow it probably won't start, and you'll have to call an Uber to get to work, and that's a problem.
I think Motor Trend has had a lot of problems with theirs, their long-term
Yes.
one, and it
Actually,
really disappoints me.
I read an
Makes me
article.
upset.
They have the most recent thing they've written about that car. I think maybe not. It's been a few days, so I don't know how often they put out updates. But they wrote one about how the car thinks it's broken, even though it isn't. It's the most Italian.
they're having so
thing,
many
dude.
service issues
It's
with that
so
car.
Italian.
It really makes me disappointed because I stuck up for that car when it came out. I was like, it's not going to have problems. It's going to be fine.
And
It'll
I
have
think-
problems, but
I
not
think
more
you would have
problems.
bought one.
Yeah, if I'd had the money.
maybe down the road.
Or yeah, even down the road when I was ready to move past the Genesis, I
Yeah.
probably would have bought one.
Absolutely. The Giulia would have
Tons
been,
of issues.
The Giulia would have been the perfect Michael Beck car.
Tons of problems. Now I got to buy a
Another
G70
Genesis.
Sport or a G70N when that comes out.
Yeah.
which is fine, but it's not
It's not an Italian car.
with a not Ferrari engine in it.
Right. That's why
With a not Ferrari.
That's why the GM
Cut down
V6,
V6.
the boosted GM V6 would be perfect.
I like the idea of that. I like to see how cheaply I could put that together. You know, not like dangerously cheaply, just like what would it take to put together a boosted, or no, the straight six, the Trailblazer motor. Wasn't that what we were talking about? Or are we talking about the V?
Oh. You're talking like just to put in something you own now.
Oh, you were talking about that V6. And
I'm talking
Giulia.
about like I'm talking about taking like the ATS-V motor and putting it in the
Oh,
Giulia
I see what you're
still.
saying. Yeah.
But what
yeah.
you're talking about, apparently this is a thing. People do this. They use, what was that, a 4.6? Or 4.3?
No, it's 4.3. 4.3, I think. Or 4.2, because 4.3 is the V6.
Yeah, maybe you're right, 4.2. It's the inline
4.2,
6
yeah.
motor that they put in
Trailblazer 4.2 is what I typed in, and turbo is the second
first
option.
thing.
It's the motor they put in like the base spec of his TBSS.
Yeah.
If you just bought a regular pedestrian Blazer, that inline 6-cylinder that they make,
looks so good.
Apparently
I've never
that-
seen a picture of that.
that inline 6
God.
is very stout from the factory and
Really?
takes well to boost.
It looks like a Nissan engine.
And I'll bet there's 11 billion of them.
They got to
And
be
nobody's
cheap as
buying those.
cheap as cheap as cheap.
Yeah.
So this guy's on Hot Rod. He had a '69 Firebird Sprint. I don't know what makes it a Sprint, but
So the 69 Firebird Sprint was an overhead cam inline 6-cylinder Firebird.
that makes sense then.
We used to have one.
That makes total sense. So the GM single overhead cam, 4.2 liter engine with 8 pounds of boost. 8
That's not very many.
pounds of boost makes 470 horsepower and 450 foot-pounds of torque.
That's got to be almost double what it made from the factory.
It says this guy thinks he can squeeze 10 pounds of boost out of the turbo. Well, no shit.
10? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, he's really pushing that bad boy,
Yeah.
isn't he?
This guy's
Hope
conservative.
hope it can handle it.
Yeah, they're talking about putting 61 millimeter Garretts on it, making 600 horsepower.
Yeah,
Wow.
dude. Putting a Chinese choo-choo boy and a
Jesus
mega
Christ, how big
squirt
is
on
that
there?
turbo? Did you steal it off a diesel? What size is that turbo?
like
I don't know, it's
whole
got
set.
1,300 horsepower.
It's like
Well, I
a
was
whole
just
set, like
thinking it does.
HX45 or
Yeah, it's
something like
1,300
that.
horsepower at like 5,400 RPM for like that one instant.
I thought this was the one you pulled
All
up.
the rest of the time it has like 250 horsepower.
It looks just like the picture you showed me.
This one's got a little teeny tiny turbo on it.
Oh,
But it looks very
the same
similar
thing.
to that, yeah.
It's kind
It
of
looks
a cool.
good. It looks like a
It's got
RB.
a neat looking intake manifold on it.
yeah,
That's
it does.
that's a cool motor
I'm interested in this.
that nobody knows about.
Should put this in a drift car. People will be all.
And since it's
All
GM,
confused.
I'll bet there's a decent transmission that bolts up to the back of it.
yeah, all of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And any one of their
Or just
transmissions
put
will bolt to
put
it.
a
Chances
truck
are.
transmission on it. And
Yeah, you'll be
what,
fine.
who cares?
Well, you could do your paddle controlled
I could
4L60 or 4L80 or whatever it is.
put that in my Maserati swap. Just confuse
Yes.
the living shit out of
I
me.
have a feeling that he's
Just
gonna,
confused.
I have a feeling that the topic is going to involve Michael and Maseratis.
It does not.
No,
You would be
Shit,
surprised.
son.
I looked at all of them.
I was very.
You will be shocked.
I think that this is going to be
Did you
an
see what I
interesting
picked?
show for
That
all
was for
of
a
us.
second. I
Robbie-
tried not to look.
Robbie's gonna hate what I picked.
Robbie's going to hate what I picked, but he's not going to be surprised. I think I'm going to be the most obvious answers.
Yeah, probably.
Should we move on to
Let's
that?
move it on so Robbie can take a nap. Factorfabrication.com. Booney has put out a challenge
Oh,
Oh.
because
I
he
like
thinks
challenges.
that our audience isn't up to it. Is basically what he said.
Oh, yeah. No, he called him out for sure.
the first person to get a 10 Tenths podcast tattoo.
oh, that's right. I forgot about
any
this.
logo you want has to be one of the logos though.
Does it have to does it actually say 10 tenths or could it just be the tack?
No,
Has
because
to
the tack is just a Squarespace thing that they.
Okay, no one cares.
It's just a little clip
A
art
clip
thing
art.
that Squarespace had.
Okay.
It was simple and easy
It's
to
like
read.
it's the same
Yeah, no,
as
I get that. I get that.
behind the scenes secrets. Tracktune did the same thing.
Oh!
Because I found theirs when I was looking for it. Anyway, so if you do that whole thing, which I'm pointing at the thing on the wall, which
The
people
banner.
can't really see, or you do the one that's on Adam's T-shirt, which is the vintage,
The old logo.
the vintage
or
logo.
the one
tread.
that's on the wall behind you with the tack below the words.
Yeah, you could do
The words are below the tack.
Yeah, any
Sorry,
configuration
you're
of the
right, yeah.
track and the word or the tack and the words is fine, or the one that Adam's wearing.
Or the golf one.
Yeah, any logo.
The golf one would make me so happy.
I'll throw in an extra 100 if you put it on a tramp stamp location.
Did we say
so
what the
basically-
challenge was?
No, basically the first person to do it, the first person to get a 1010s podcast tattoo gets $100 from Booney.
Make it 200 if it's a tramp stamp.
If it's a tramp stamp, it's $200.
I'll throw in free lifetime hugs for the golf library.
That's not fair. I already do that to everybody.
I don't have any money, so
What's
don't take
something
what
else that
little
people
money I
might
have
do
from me.
that might be worth throwing on an extra $100 at?
Oh God, I don't know, man. Like locations?
No, just whatever. Something stupid. I don't want anybody getting it on their face. I don't want to have to live with that.
Put
Yeah.
put the
Yeah, we have
tack
to
on the
live
back
with
of their
this.
neck or something.
That'd be weird. So anyway, there's an option out there for you for either $100 or $200, depending on how wild you want to get.
If you get a Mount Rushmore-esque
Portrait?
portrait of the three of us with the tack in the middle and 1010's podcast underneath it, you can have a guest spot.
If you have
On any
if
show you want.
if you do that, if you do like a Mount Rushmore or like a Top Gear thing with us on your arm, like a whole sleeve thing,
Yeah.
You could be our fourth host.
Robbie and I will give you.
Well, you'll take a seat. Just pick a seat a week. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. One of us will bow out.
There you go.
For sure.
I'll be the intern with the computer in the bag. You just take my spot.
It can't be any worse than when Formula
You'll be
Drift
young Jamie.
auctioned off a co-host spot with Jared Deanda, and the guy from Vapetasia took it. It can't be any
Is that
worse
what
than
happened?
that. Yes.
Wow.
And it wasn't even that expensive, and I should have ponied
I was
up.
gonna say,
it was for
we should've
charity.
done
I
it.
should have done it.
We
It wasn't
should've
that
done it.
much. I mean, it was a lot. It was like $800,
Might have been worth
but
it.
it
though.
wasn't.
It would have been worth
It
it.
probably would have been worth it if they do
It's
that.
tax deductible.
If they do it again this year, I should probably
Do it.
Just fork over the cash and then fly out to California.
it's tax deductible.
Yeah, you'd be good
you
at
can't
it, too.
afford
You're
not
like,
to.
"Jeez, who the fuck is this
Yeah,
guy?"
I'd be like, hey, Ryan Sage, remember me? You're not coming back. You stay over there. This is my job now. Call me in the spring. Okay, thanks. Might be worth it.
That wouldn't be
It
the
might
worst
totally
thing that
be
ever
worth
happened
it.
to you,
It's
right?
like paying for a interview. I might do it.
Yeah.
That's the best job interview you could possibly imagine.
If anybody wants to give me any money to do that, I will accept it.
Yeah, we'd actually do a GoFundMe for that one.
If anybody would be interested in putting together a GoFundMe for me to give money to
no,
charity,
we can't be doing that.
Why?
That seems a little wrong.
It goes to charity.
You go straight to
I know,
charity.
but still. We got to see if they're going to do it again first.
I think they did it last year
Yeah.
or the year before last.
Oh, is this a running thing for them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a little different.
And then, Vapetasia staped in. I was like, well, they got tons of money.
Yeah.
Everybody's vaping.
Yeah.
They probably made $800 in an hour out there.
Oh,
Profit.
yeah. Easy.
Selling vape juice and whatever else. I was like, that's not fair.
Yeah.
Anywho, tattoo options. It's out there for you. If that's your sort of thing.
Do it.
We should,
All right,
we should
somebody will
put
do it.
on the down low, not tell people. We should put a pool together on who we think is going to be the first between the three of us, but not tell anybody. Because I
I
have.
thought it was going to be Spencer there for a hot minute.
I thought for sure it was going to be him.
I thought he was like, I'm here right now. I was like, holy shit.
he's going to do it.
Are you doing
we
it?
don't know he didn't yet.
True, we don't know. Let's do this too. You have to be in the group, and you have to be the first person in the group to share the tattoo.
Yeah, first one to post it. This will be like a patent.
If you
first
ask
file.
to join, we accept. So it's if you're not in the group, just be in the group,
Right.
and then it's not a big deal.
There are people out there who just get I mean, that's just their thing.
Yeah, people get tattoos they don't care about.
There's a shop.
time.
There's a shop that a friend of mine gets his tattoos at all the time. That they have a gumball machine, and you put a quarter in there and twist the thing, and it gives you a design, and they put it on you, but it's like significantly reduced rate. It's like half, but you don't get to pick it. You
Yeah.
get to pick where, but you don't know what you're gonna get.
Could be great.
Could be great.
terrible.
It could be a veiny, throbbing penis. You don't know. I mean, I don't think it is, but
You don't know for sure.
it's a gamble.
It's a gamble. So, anyway, it's out there. Adam, you want to introduce the topic for this week?
Yeah. So, fuck it. We'll just say what it is.
No, you can.
Snap-on's running like this deal right now. I think, if I understand this correctly, purchasing, I don't know, whatever it is you got to purchase from your dealer to get entered in this. It's basically a $30,000 to spend at, I think it's a Mecum auction.
No, I thought it was either.
I don't know. I didn't look at it.
It's not the point of them.
It's not the point,
doesn't
but it
matter.
gave me the idea of like that's not like the worst idea, because some of these auctions, they have pretty wild, crazy, varied cars, and we've talked, especially because I've gone to a Barrett Jackson, have talked quite a few times about how you'd be surprised at some of the cars you can get for reasonable sums of money. So what we decided was, let's roll with that $30,000 budget. Scottsdale 2019 Barrett Jackson auction. We went through the whole list, or part of the list, or whatever it is you guys did. Pick out an undetermined number of cars. You can pick out one car, you can pick out 10 cars, whatever it was that you guys picked out.
Yep.
Couldn't spend more than $30,000 total. I know that I have 3 cars that I would pick if I knew what they were going for, and then I threw a couple cars in there that I would have had a hard time not bidding on, and may or may not have ended up with.
Right.
Because that's the thing about this, is like, I know what they went for, whereas if I was actually there with a sum of cash, there's a lot of cars that I probably would have bid on and backed out on, and so I threw a couple of those in as honorable mentions.
So before we get started, not thrilled
Yes.
with this topic.
No?
No,
Why?
because I looked into what it would.
You've done a lot of shopping, haven't you? Now
I've done a lot of shopping now, and I've looked into what it takes to get a bidder registration.
It's not
much.
hard. I may...
Painfully easy.
It may or
Do you
may
have
not.
one right now?
No, but I'm signed up for Meekum to tell me when.
It may or may not
Cars
have
are
been
coming.
spurred on by our recent quest to make you buy a Porsche.
Right. But then also,
This may have been given to me by a listener for that specific purpose.
okay, and it.
Blame Josh Fettis.
Oh, okay, yeah, fuck him.
Love that
So
guy.
Dave Fettis. So,
Yeah.
so then I told my dad, I was like, I might get a registration for Meekum when it comes to Kansas City, if they have a car that I want.
My dad went to the one. We ended up being at Grid Life.
Yeah.
I had dedicated to going to that with him, and then found out that Grid Life was on that same weekend. But my dad said it was a blast. We may have to, if nothing else falls on that this weekend, we may just have to go down there for the hell of it, because it sounds like a deal, and I got a place to stay
And it's not.
that far away.
And if you're a bidder, you get at least one guest in
Yeah,
with you.
I
So-
bet we could send some emails and find the right person and not pay to get in there anyway.
True. Yeah, we could probably do that.
We're members of the press.
Just give me signed up. Give me a paddle. It's like wave it at people.
I learned at a very
I might just turn into a madman.
I learned at a very young age that you got to walk around with your hands in your pockets at auctions and stuff like that.
Yes.
Like, from like age 4.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah,
No,
you can't do that at an auction. That's not a thing you're allowed to do. So
So anyway, thanks for that.
that was the point. To be completely honest with you,
I thought
this
Josh
is why
Fettis
we're
and I
here.
were friends, but that's cool.
You should know better.
That's totally fine.
There's a fine line between friend and enemy.
I get that 100%.
like
I think we all walk that line every
we're
single
friends
day.
and enemies.
Frenemies.
Keep your friends close, your enemies
Frenemies.
closer.
Odie
Right?
Bach
That's why I'm the
shoes and-
closest with you guys.
Yeah. Frenemies.
Absolutely.
My favorite YouTube
Who
series.
do we want to start with? Should we
Probably you.
Or do
we
you
wanna
want
start
to
with
finish
me?
with him?
I feel like
It's his topic.
Robbie's a wild card. We know what Adam's
Robbie is a
gonna pick.
wild card, because there was a car on there that I'm incredibly disappointed he didn't pick. Should we talk about it right
Let's
now?
start with that one.
Let's talk
and
about
talk
it.
Hold
about
up.
why I didn't
So
pick it.
there was a Jurassic Park Jeep. It was built by the producers of Jurassic
No,
Park.
it was not.
As a
Okay,
demo,
hold on a second. Before you say anything,
it's atrocious.
before you even say anything, can I take a guess at why you don't want this?
Yes.
Okay, it wasn't in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the wrong color.
Yeah.
It's not like the one in the. Well, was the first one Mercedes or were
No,
those
the
Jeeps?
first one were Jeeps.
Jurassic World was Mercedes. Jurassic Park was Jeeps.
Okay, so the reason you don't want this is because it's not that Jeep. It's a different Jeep.
First of all, that's a Cherokee,
It's not a Wrangler.
and they were
Yeah,
Wranglers.
And they were Wranglers.
And that one's been widened 10 inches, and it looks ridiculous.
What? Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, it's
it
been
looks like a
widened.
Hummer. How wide it is?
Yeah, it's been widened 10 inches.
That's too many.
Oh, I
inches.
just saw the side-on profile. Yeah, it's got like 11 grill slits instead of
Yeah.
7.
Yeah.
What in the fuck? Why would you do that?
It's kind of rad in the worst of ways.
It looks like they just took the section that was the glove box and they just doubled it to try to make up for that space on the inside.
On the dash?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like got 2 glove boxes.
Yeah.
What in the hell? Why would you do that?
It's not the first time I've seen that.
That's weird.
It's
What's
a
the
thing.
point?
I don't.
What is the
know.
point?
'Cause it's not like you put more seats in it. You could, but they didn't.
Widened
kinda thought that,
14 inches.
Oh, it's 14? I thought it was 10. 14 inches. That's crazy.
It doesn't make
That's
it's
gotta
a
be-
lick of sense.
It's like the
at all.
That's gotta be
Canyonero
like-
on The Simpsons. It's 2 lanes wide.
I was going to say that's got to be like borderline too wide to drive down the road.
It has to be.
It's gotta be right
You got to
on
be
the-
touching both.
It's gotta be
both
actual-
It's got to be
lines.
right on the bleeding edge.
actual H1.
Like, how often do you lose a mirror to a mailbox with that thing?
That's why the mirrors are small.
That's dumb.
But he's 100% right. Like somebody made this as a demo piece for when the movie came out, and they're like, "Yeah, no, we're not using the movie. We're not using it for demos." So somebody just took a Jeep, widened it, threw some Jurassic Park stickers on it, and never got used for the movie. So
and then drove it daily, it says.
Yeah,
It was really half-assedly hustled together.
it sold for $11,000, and that's 6,000 too many.
Even by Jurassic Park
9,000.
even by Jurassic Park copied car standard, that's pretty haggard put together.
I don't even know what I would do with it if I owned it.
No, you couldn't drive
Can't
it and
drive it
enjoy
anywhere.
it.
So like just as it is, if it was just yellow or just red, would it be better?
No.
No,
If they didn't try to tie it to Jurassic Park, if it was just like some madman had widened his Jeep 14 inches
no, it's-
all the way
it's
around,
just equal.
would that be better?
no, they did. It's
still messed up.
Yeah, I'd say it's terrible.
Uh-oh. I broke the internet. Hold on a second.
Happens.
So
Kind of like this website keeps cycling through the pictures for me.
makes your life so
Yeah,
easy.
just sit back and let it go.
Broke the cycling. That's what happened.
Robbie's gonna want to do this every
Something I
week
noticed
now.
that's really annoying is it has a seamed windshield.
Yes.
So
'Cause, yeah,
it kinda has to.
Had to make
big,
one.
That's a big no for me. I'm not driving around in that with a seam running down the middle of the windshield.
At least it's the middle and not like 2/3 third.
Based on the rest of the way you put this vehicle
It's
together.
a standard windshield that somebody added a 14-inch piece of glass to.
Yeah, that's a little disturbing.
Yeah. When you posted, like, then you were going to be offended if I didn't pick it. I was like, I'm offended that you think I would pick it.
I can't believe you didn't.
Hot
I'm still
garbage.
surprised you didn't pick it.
I just saw it just from a distance. I didn't open it. I just saw that 3/4 shot that's
Yep.
right there. And I went, it's not the right color. He's not going to pick it.
I
Are they
honestly-
even yellow in the first movie?
No, they're white.
Yeah, I was
Or
gonna
like
say,
a gray. They're
like-
gray,
yeah.
gray with red.
with like a little camo going on too, don't they?
Yeah, I guess not camo, but like the paint scheme on the Explorers is.
Yeah, that's
is
what
you're
the
thinking
Explorers. Okay,
of. You'd be better off taking an Explorer you get off Copart, slapping a wrap on it, and then that'd be way better than this.
I'm more into the Explorer than the Wrangler.
No,
Just
the
as-
Wrangler,
just as
100%.
As a Jurassic Park themed car, I'd rather have an Explorer than a Wrangler.
Nah, the Mercedes G-Wagon with the 6 wheels, that's what you need.
That's a Jurassic Park vehicle.
That's worth every penny.
That's going off road.
yeah.
That's fair. Should we do the lists?
I think that Adam should go first.
All right, that's fine. I'll go first.
Since he offended me with his
That's fine. I'll go
Knockoff
first.
Robbie needs,
Jurassic
Great.
Park.
Robbie needs a little
I
time
think
to not
Robbie
be
needs to
offended.
go last because I have no idea where Robbie is,
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
and I'm most interested in his. If you have the chance before we get into this, go to Barrett Jackson's website and just kind of flip through. There's 1,400 of them, so don't flip through every single one, but just kind of scroll through for a little while, just kind of look at some of the stuff because it's interesting.
It is interesting.
So, what do you got, Robbie? Which one are we doing first? Yeah.
Really, dude?
Are you kidding me?
The 1977
No, hold on.
AM.
Hold on a second. Booney's going to be fucking pissed at you. Because
Why?
Because he said a Wayne's World reference one day and nobody fucking got it but me. And then you picked the Pinto from Wayne's World.
Not even that. It's a
Or Pacer, Pacer,
it's
sorry.
a AMC Pacer recreation.
It's a
It's not
recreation.
it's
I
not
don't
from
even
the
care.
movie.
Do you even like this movie?
Dude, it's one of my favorite movies of
How
all
did you
time.
not pick up on the...
I don't know. I was
reference?
probably half asleep when he made it,
Oh.
that post, or I didn't notice it, or who knows.
You're going to have to...
I think I've
smooth
already.
that
I
over.
think I've already had to defend myself with it already. But Wayne's World is one of my top 3 favorite movies.
Okay, all right.
It is one of 2 movies that I actually own on Amazon. Anything else, I won't.
Fair enough.
If I'm going to watch something, I'm going to rent it, or it's got to be free. The only
Yeah.
2 movies I own, obviously, Brink. Come on, I mean,
Naturally.
let's be real here, and this. So
What did this sell for?
$7,150.
Okay.
It's one of 2 cars that I could have picked that sold for that exact price, oddly enough, because one of my honorable mentions sold for the same price.
Okay.
But I want one so bad. I think that they're cool just by themselves. I think the Pacer looks cool. That hurts Robbie's brain in ways he can't even describe.
I don't know if I'm so. You use the cool.
No, dude, they're so rad. They're so rad.
I would rather have a Gremlin.
No way, dude. These are awesome. I love them. They're little bubbles. It's so funny to me.
The fucking fuck.
I'm not going to save you. Don't look at me.
I don't want you to save me. I know you're not going to because you probably hate it too.
I hate the Pacer.
My dad's like probably texting me right now like, have you lost your mind?
Is this-
Starting this episode with a Pacer.
Is the AMC Pacer front wheel drive?
I'm pretty sure it is, yeah.
It has to be, right?
I think it is.
I was going to say if it's not, that might salvage
The
it a
Gremlin
little
is-
bit for
the
me.
Gremlin is not.
It's rear wheel.
Yeah.
See, that's why it's better.
Oh, you know what? What engine's in this?
I don't
I don't know.
How would I know?
I don't
Doesn't
care.
it say below if it says V8 or whatever?
Well, like,
No, I don't think that you could get a Pacer with a V8. That was the Gremlin thing.
How dare you? I'm looking at Wikipedia right now,
Six,
and you can have an
V6.
inline 6 or a V8.
Really? You can have a
Or
V8?
it says-
That's out of control awesome.
it's 6-cylinder engine and an automatic transmission.
I would happily take a Gremlin too. Gremlin X's are super cool. I know where there's one in a junkyard, and I love it.
I don't know. I don't know how to help people with this if they've not seen this before.
I want
It
I
looks
want it
like-
to have a licorice dispenser at the roof, on the roof, and I would listen to nothing but Bohemian Rhapsody every time I drove it.
I'm not.
And,
I'm not against the
and
music.
I would let my hair just go full on
Holy
80s.
shit! This you got to look at this ad.
Dude, I'm in love with this thing. I want one so bad.
You got to look that up. Look up French Pacer advertisement.
Oh, no.
It is aggressive. You could never get
Oh,
away with
no.
this in 2019.
Oh, no.
Is this like the? That's a real ad. Is this?
It's really aggressive. Wait
Show
till
it
he
to me,
pulls it
Robbie. I
up.
want to see it. Come on, give it to me.
That's exactly what you should say.
Yeah.
It's a woman.
What does it say on it?
It says Pacer, and it's got a Pacer on the ground or on the bottom of the poster, driving over this girl. It's not even a dress; it's like a nightgown, like a all white nightgown, and it's driving onto the tail of it. She's bent over, so you got like it's real tight on her ass, and she's just kind of looking back at the Pacer.
And that's it.
That's
It just says
that's
weird
Pacer.
advertising.
That's a hypersexual ad for a Pacer.
I think that just shows what kind of men own Pacers.
I don't
Creeps?
think so. Yeah, creeps maybe. Absolutely.
That's probably fair.
Fucking creepy people.
I just love them. I want
Huh.
one. I think they look cool. I think that they're funny.
Oh, what? No, this
It must be rear-wheel drive if it's got a V8 in it.
Jean Charles was a French dealer, and that was their advertisement. So
Oh, that's a little different then.
yes.
So
But that still okay.
I knew that Robbie would hate it.
That's
I also kind of figured that he would hate on me for Wayne's World a little bit.
That's not true.
You like Wayne's World?
Wayne's World's great.
I just,
Okay.
I mean, I
So that's a car that you could have picked. What is another?
I would have happily drove that thing home. So what do you got next, Robbie?
Robbie's brain's gonna explode.
Yes, he's not.
What's the next one,
feeling it.
Robbie?
It is a 64 Chevy Monza Spider Turbo.
So I don't know why, but in recent times I've developed a bit of a Corvair thing, and this one is the 4-cylinder turbo model,
Okay.
which is cool. I like yellow cars, although this is certainly not my preferred shade of yellow. I do like yellow cars.
Really?
Yes, I,
I
love
would,
yellow
I would not
cars.
have guessed that, and I've known you for.
So they made a yellow S10 Extreme, and
Really?
if I could own one, that would be the one.
It's got to be a rare color then, right?
It's a fairly rare color, yeah. And I lose my shit every time I see one.
I don't know if I've ever seen one.
Dude, it's the unicorn of S chassis trucks that used to be parked down the street from my
This motherfucker.
Well, what did Robbie do to you? Did he kick your cat?
This motherfucker.
It was used to be parked down the street from my house. It was an Extreme Blazer, two-door,
You fucking lost me like.
with the 4.3
10
and
words.
a manual in yellow. It was the best. And I don't even like the 4.3 or the Blazer Extreme.
Are you ready? You want me to read you
Please.
the bump from Wikipedia? In spring of 1962, Chevrolet
Christ.
committed itself to the sporty image they had created for the Corvair by introducing a convertible version.
Yep.
And then offering a high-performance 150 horsepower Spider. Damn.
How do you keep your hair?
Calm down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That type of speed.
Whiplash.
And,
The
yeah.
car was
they call that.
specifically, it's basically a Porsche 911.
It's so
an air-cooled, rear-engined, horizontally opposed motor. It's basically a 911 built by Chevrolet.
That sounds terrible. That sounds exactly like all the stuff I don't want.
It's so disproportionate. The whole
Dude,
car.
I love them. The front grill of those cars, for some reason, or it's not even a grill,
not-
just
yeah.
the front end. I don't know why, I just love them. I think they're adorable, and I want one. I like Corvairs.
What are we doing here?
They made a panel van built on a a van built on a Corvair
Yep.
chassis. It was a flat nose, like you drive over the front wheels.
Yeah, that's fun.
I want one so bad. They made that as a pickup truck too. Couldn't think of anything better. Side loading, so rad. There was one. It went for $40,000.
How many dollar monies is this?
$18,150.
It was not the cheapest Corvair, but it was the turbo one. The other one I looked at was a 6-cylinder, and I chose not to choose it because it was white.
It's so disproportionate. Like, it's just weird.
Why is it disproportionate? What's
I don't know,
disproportionate
it's like the
about
windshield's
it?
not tall at all. But like,
Well, no, it's a little low
it's
slung,
just a-
sleek
it's
little
a-
sports car.
It's like almost too long, but for some
It's a
reason,
little bit too long.
like the door's
It's like
really
it's too long.
Yeah, it's like the
door's
door's
short, but it's too long.
Yeah. Yes. That's exactly it.
It's because you got to have a room for all that motor in the back.
And what about all this swing axle bullshit?
I don't think that it's as bad as Ralph Nader made it out to be.
I can't confirm or deny.
It's got a swing axle.
He's trying to play on the book. Corvairs, unsafe at any speed.
Yes.
You know what else has a swing axle? A Renault Dauphine. Probably don't want one. Ooh, that's terrible. I don't want one of those. And a Volkswagen Beetle.
Yeah. Yeah. If you really want to make a comparison that's more accurate, it's a Chevrolet produced Volkswagen Beetle.
The problem with the swing axle is that your camber is not consistent through the swing
Through the
of
curve.
the axle, basically.
Oh, that's good. That's
so
good.
as
Yeah. Car.
so
it can go from like negative to positive back to
so
negative again.
I know nobody
It's
else can
very-
see this unless you're watching. So if my arm's the axle,
Yeah.
and you hit a bump and it goes down,
Yep.
that camber changes from -1 or whatever it is to +8,
3.
9. But then when it goes back the other way, you get
Like
extreme
negative.
extreme negative camber.
Oh, man.
That's the problem with it.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
There was a guy that land speed raced these and did like well into the 200s with them, and he is quoted as saying, I've been like whatever that number was, 277 miles an hour or whatever it was. He said it seemed perfectly safe to me.
Seemed, not was.
What engine did it have in it?
I don't know, and I can't imagine that to be
Any of it
in
was
all
stock.
reality. I can't imagine that it was factory suspension to either.
There's no way.
He's just being a smartass.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But there was a book written about this car as it being the unsafe at any speed, and it was a driving force behind improvements in American safety standards for automobiles,
Boo!
which is a real bum deal. But
So this car ruined our lives. Is
I
what you're
love
saying.
the Corvair. I think they're super cool. Again, this is the second of 2 cars I've picked that my dad's like, what happened to you? How did this?
Who is this
I raised you with big blocks and Pontiacs and fast cars, and you like
What's
Corvairs and Pacers. What is wrong with you?
He gave you everything, and look what
Look at what you're doing to him. Look how you pay him back. This is the thanks I get.
I mean, if that is anything to be judged, then for my father, there's hope for my son.
Yeah,
He's gonna
It's
swing back
it's
the
gonna
pendulum.
It's
Yeah.
going to skip a
Back.
generation.
It's-
This kid's got a
it's-
chance.
It's like hereditary diseases. They skip generations.
Skip generations. Yeah, you're fine. He's fine.
Big blockism, we'll call it.
What's next?
I think that this one. So this was in all reality, this was just a filler because it was cheap and I had some money left over.
Okay. You're doing some vanning things, basically.
It's a 1979 Chevrolet G20 custom van.
You can pull some stuff with it.
Yeah, so it's
That's
a
not the end of the world.
it's kind of a camper van. It's
right.
not quite as rad as Matt's, to be completely honest.
No.
But it is a camper van. It's got like a kitchenette thing in it. It's got the raddest of graphics. It is painfully
be-
70s or 80s.
That'd be a great grid life. tow vehicle.
Super rad. It sold for $3,300, and I had that money left over in my budget. I figured I would be stupid not to.
This is a great filler.
It's got a pop-up table. This is the best choice that you made. It's V8.
I kind of thought that is what you were going to say, to be completely honest.
You get to do camping stuff.
It's just so practical.
This is so practical. It makes so much sense.
There's
you got
plenty
a ladder.
of room for me and my child and my wife, and we can go and enjoy track day shenanigans together. It's exactly what I need in my life, and it is an incredibly reasonable and affordable price. I should note, while we're here, all of these prices include
buyer fees.
Yep.
Perfect.
So this is actually $3,300 out the door.
Perfect.
So that brought me to like 28 and change or something like that.
Yep.
So I didn't quite make the 30, but I couldn't find anything that was cheap enough. I think that might have been the cheapest vehicle that I would at least consider owning that they sold at Barrett Jackson. It might have been the cheapest. I can't quite remember.
Imagine. I don't know. Could you sort them by?
No, there was no way to sort, which was really frustrating.
You could search by if you had specifics.
Yeah, you could search out like specific brands and stuff like that, but there was no way to sort it except like you could sort it into like cars that sold for charity and cars that sold with reserve and cars that sold as part of collections.
Yeah, that doesn't really help you for what we're doing.
Right. I avoided charity cars, obviously.
Yeah,
because
those prices don't
pricing is not reflective of the value of the vehicle.
Right. So that's my list of cars that I for sure would have bought. Should we go through my honorable mentions?
Yeah, do your honorable mentions real quick.
Okay, to be completely honest, don't even remember. Is there 2 of them?
Yes.
I don't even remember what I put. So this is going to be an adventure for both of us.
1961 AMC Rambler classic station wagon.
Oh, yeah. So I put this on here because I don't know why, but I think it looks really rad. An AMC Rambler. Apparently, I'm into AMCs now, so I'm just going to sell all my cars and buy AMCs. I guess that's going to happen. Station wagon. And
this is better than your Pacer.
For some reason, it's absolutely terrible and therefore incredibly good.
How much money?
It was not cheap. It was almost 20 or north of it.
Oof.
No,
or was this my $7,100 car?
This is $15,400.
15. That's where it was.
Okay.
It was half of our budget. It was hard to slot in there.
Their website's doing goofy stuff to me too, Robbie.
Sorry, guys.
But I don't know why that car is so interesting to me design-wise. It's just weird. The front end is very, like the grill is very weird. It's kind of, I don't even know, but, and they're small. It was a very small car for the time. Because a Rambler's not a very big car, and then they made it a station wagon. I don't know why. I just think it's rad.
I don't dislike this car as much as your other choices.
I kind of figured you'd say that.
It's okay.
I would have had a hard time not buying that car if I was there.
What else we got?
Like it came up first, I probably would have bought it.
What's next?
And then
And my last one
is a 1995 Jaguar XJS convertible.
Ooh. This is probably cheap, wasn't it? $7,000?
$7,150 for this car as well.
Which
An XJS
motor
convertible.
engine is that? Is it the V12 or the straight 6?
I have.
Should say, Robbie.
Yeah, I know what I want. Move away from the picture.
Robbie's afraid of moving things.
I am.
'Cause it changes.
It's
fucks
their
with it.
website.
4-liter, 6-cylinder,
Okay.
4-speed automatic.
230 horsepower, I think.
Sure.
I think that they look fantastic.
Fantastic is the word you're using.
They're sweet.
Fantastic.
You think the front end of that car is a bad looking car? What?
Yes.
What?
Fantastic.
Dude, they're awesome.
I've changed. You've changed.
That is
awesome.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
The fuck are we doing here?
Are you kidding me?
Wait a second. Is that? Oh, it's a convertible too.
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. It's a convertible.
Should I just stop now? I'll just shut it off. I'll just shut it off. It's fine.
What are we
I'm just gonna
doing
shut
here?
it down. That's fine. We don't have to do
I
this
thought
anymore.
$7,000 was
It's
a
totally fine.
steal.
I'm gonna get on Facebook right now and let people know we're not doing this anymore.
We're done
This is
here.
it.
We don't even
Done.
know you anymore, man.
How is that not?
He picked.
How is that
AMCs.
not my car?
He picked multiple AMCs
Yeah.
and a Jag convertible. A Jag convertible.
And
Not even a regular hardtop XJ with a V12. That's justifiable. He picked the worst engined XJS in convertible.
Yeah, but it was $7 grand.
The floppiest
It's
car of
so
all time.
cheap.
And it was made by the British
It was so
before
cheap.
they were bought out by the Indians.
Booney
It means
has
it's a
proven-
piece of shit.
Booney has proven that these are Jaguars are perfectly reasonable daily drivers.
His Jaguar is not this Jaguar. that face,
Dude, I love it.
is
I love it.
fantastic.
It looks like a catfish. It's so good. I think it looks good. I like these cars.
What the fuck?
Wow.
I don't know why you guys are surprised by the fact that I think that's a cool car.
When they took this picture, they should have just put it in neutral and then pushed it into the lake behind
There
it.
is a lake behind it. Just,
That's where it does. That's where it belongs.
It's disappeared. You better call
think
your
that-
insurance company.
I think that you always try to keep those close to water in case of fire.
Yes.
That is disappointing.
And oh man, like the bumper wraps around under the headlight.
Oh, it's so cool. It's so 80s.
It's so
It's painfully awesome.
But wasn't it made in the 90s?
Yeah, yeah, probably.
95.
Yeah,
halfway through.
yeah. But I think they made that car for a long time, didn't they?
95 is when like the Toyota Supra was really getting good looking. You know, you're on the
RX-7.
RX-7's perfect. The the S chassis are looking good.
And
The-
this,
the-
Joe,
this
34?
Yeah, the
34?
fantastic
R34?
Jaguar.
Yeah, yeah, the GTR. Oh my gosh! And you're like, yep, this is it.
It was $7
So they
grand.
made
It
this
was
car.
cheap.
They made this car from 1975 to 1996.
See,
So this is 1 year before they're like, yeah, we're done. This is it.
that means it was just the best.
This is
'Cause they've
no.
It's had 20 years of development.
The 70s one is with the V12 is
I
kind of
agree.
okay.
Okay, so I will agree that the hardtop is the preferable version. The V12 is clearly the preferable version. This was the one that sold at the auction, and it was a very cheap price, and I wouldn't be mad about owning it. If I had my choice, yeah, I want a hardtop. Yes, I definitely want the V12. But this is what was presented to me, and I'm not mad about it.
It's a lovely car, Adam. Congratulations. It's fantastic.
Whatever. It's
Robbie's-
my $30,000, and I
Robbie's-
can spend it how I please.
Robbie's offended.
That's fine. I'm not mad about that either.
Good.
Okay, should
Let's
I do mine?
Michaels.
Let's
For
do
the
mine
love
now.
of God, let's move on to Michaels.
At least mine are on brand. That makes sense.
I don't think
How do AMCs not make sense for
And
me?
convertible Jaguars, how's that?
Yeah, that-
When have you ever been on the show like, you know, that AMC,
But they're-
Pacer? That's
they're-
where I'm at.
They're quirky, fun, terrible little cars.
Terrible's the right word.
That is my brand.
Yours on brand, but not as on brand as I thought it would be.
Really?
Yep.
Ah, I love mine.
I think that
This is my first
I
option.
think that most of the cars that would have been most on brand for him, we would have needed a larger budget. Like if we'd have done $100,000, he would have been way more on brand.
Okay, so I tried to pick unreasonable cars with reasonable mileage.
Good luck with that.
That was the difference.
So what do we got here?
This is a 2002 Mercedes-Benz S550 AMG.
How is that not the most on brand thing we've talked about?
This car
so
cost
far?
$110,000 in 2002. $110,000. It's like $130 or $40 grand now.
So if I'd have bought this at Barrett Jackson, what was it going to hurt me for?
$6,300. How could you not buy it?
Holy crap, that's depreciation is a son of a gun. Holy shit.
How could you
man.
not? How could you not?
You know
I
what?
did not see
If it's
that
free
price.
money, if it's somebody else's money,
You have to.
Dude, you drive it till it breaks. Who cares?
You can afford to fix it at that price.
No, you
Yeah.
don't fix it. You just keep driving it until it does not run, and then you scrap it. It did you no wrong.
That's in great shape for $6,300.
I'm going to drop another one on here. For $6,300, you get 493 horsepower.
Yeah. It's an S550 AMG.
493 horsepower for $6,000.
That's probably the cheapest 500 horsepower there.
Definitely there, I would imagine.
Yeah.
And it'd be comfortable.
It'd be comfortable.
Which is good because you're going to
And-
be
and
parked
you're-
on the side of the road, broken down a lot, and so you want to be
Comfortable.
in a comfortable car.
Plus, it looks great.
It looks great.
From a distance,
It,
yeah.
it looks very expensive. It's supercharged, so I'm sure it makes all kinds of annoying noises, or it could potentially.
Well, and it's back when AMG was AMG,
Yeah.
so it probably does fantastic burnouts, and I'm
Yeah.
sure that it sounds glorious.
Yeah. So I'm just saying.
I 100% support this. As his friend and enemy, I support this car.
It's got about 100,000 miles on it. Just drive it till it dies. It's not my money. Who cares?
I think that that's
cares?
You're playing with house money, man.
I think that this car, just like the Maserati you posted on our Facebook group this week, you want the high mileage one.
Potentially.
You don't want the one that never got driven.
No, I don't think you want a high mileage Maserati. I
think you want
under any circumstance.
You want a medium mileage.
I think
Maserati.
you want a middle mileage Maserati, not one that's been baby.
Is 70 middle miles?
Oh no,
Is that high miles?
That's
it.
That's like 400,000 miles on a Toyota Avalon. That's that's a little scary.
Fair.
I think if you're gonna buy a Maserati, I think you want like 32,000 miles.
Or
recently serviced by the Ferrari dealer also with $5,000 worth of receipts. I think that's the Maserati you want to buy. The inside looks new. The outside looks great.
Yeah, it's a good
wheels
looking
look
car.
great. $6,300 US dollars.
That's great value.
That's great value for money.
Yeah.
You are off to a great start.
I'm off to a great start.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
My next car
Do we go downhill from there?
is a Mercedes. It's a Mercedes. It's a 1999 Mercedes.
SL500.
SL500 Roadster. Also has the V8, similar V8, but not supercharged.
Oh, this is the V8 one?
Yes,
Okay.
it's the V8 one. Yeah, not the 320, but the 500. 5-liter V8. What else is there to say about it? It's a 5-liter V8 Roadster Mercedes with a
It's
hardtop.
2-door, 2-seater, rear-wheel drive coupe.
This was always like, to me, that douchey asshole lawyer car.
Yeah.
So you could be that guy.
I could be that
Dude,
guy.
he would look great.
You need no hats, but like a slicked back hair. Like it
I
needs
can
to be
get-
shiny though. It
I
has
get
to
the
be
shiny, get the gel that people used to use in the 90s.
If I saw him,
that'd be on brand.
if I saw him driving down the road in that with Ollie hanging out the passenger side window, I wouldn't even think twice about it.
Is that John Mayer?
I would be like,
Yes.
yeah, that
Yes, it
makes
is John Mayer.
perfect sense.
I can make John Mayer parody videos. There's literally a video of him driving around in an S-Class with a dog that's like 4 pounds.
You need
That
to.
might be our YouTube breakout.
That might be our next video.
We can put it together.
For
Sounds good to me.
$6,300, who cares, right?
No,
you do it. No.
You do it in the Genesis.
This car is a bargain at $6,600.
What did this cost new? Do you know?
This was probably similar monies.
I would imagine.
I would guess this is a little cheaper because it was not an AMG.
Yeah.
Right.
This is probably like a $40,000 or $50,000 car. Depreciation hasn't hurt
Let's
it
see.
as bad.
Let's see.
Quite so bad.
Without options, $81,000.
Oh, okay. Well,
Not a cheap car.
I've bought $200,000 worth of cars for $12,000.
This man.
what's he going to spend the other $18,000 on?
That's a great question. I'm glad you asked that, Adam. It's the Porsche 911. For $17,600, you too can drive this 2003 Carrera, which is the one with the bigger engine, the highest output. It came with a V6. It doesn't have that many miles on it. It has like,
17 grand?
how many miles are on this? Not that many.
That's a steal.
It's the
for
right
that
mileage.
car.
66,000 miles with the high output, larger engine, 6-speed. It's not a goofy color. It's not something weird. It's just got a black interior. It
Yes.
looks pretty clean.
I don't like the black rims, but the rest
That's
is
the
great.
money. You would spend that money on Craigslist and not be mad about it.
Yeah, you're hard pressed to find a 2003 Carrera for this money.
And
this
that sold
mileage.
at Barrett Jackson.
Yes.
For that money.
Yes.
After buyer's fees.
Yes. Yes.
That's a deal.
yes.
Also,
I understand that.
what part of those were not on brand?
Those are all the best.
Those
choices.
were as on
I
brand.
picked the best choices.
You
only-
have the best choices.
The only thing that I would have thought maybe was going to end up on his list that isn't there are old, junked out Maseratis.
Nah, because then he's got to spend more money once he gets home.
yeah.
That was.
So the two,
Oh, he's going to be spending
AMG
plenty of money with
the
the
AMG is going to blow up. I'm just going to part that out. The SL probably won't blow up, but something will go wrong on it eventually, and then I'll just have the Porsche to drive.
I would guess that the SL you'll probably have like weird electrical gremlins. Like one day the windows won't roll up anymore. Stuff like that. You just deal with it.
Just take
We're
my
just like,
Porsche.
well, I guess I'm just going to drive this on sunny days. It's fine.
Just take my Porsche.
Yeah, the Porsche is great.
It is great. It was a great list. I just want to point out one stupid thing on my other ones.
Yes.
The Porsche clone.
The
We need
356.
to address this because this is stupid.
Is this the 356
Yes.
Speedster? Okay. Yeah, I saw this. Didn't look at it. Why is this a clone? What's cloned about this?
Recreation.
So it's not a Porsche. It's a kit car,
It's
basically.
with a Volkswagen
With
engine.
a Volkswagen engine.
So
in
it's a
it.
Beck Speedster.
No. It's a Beck Speedster is like a brand of car.
Right, but they're 356 reps.
Sure. But this is just who knows, rep car, whatever. Not sure who produced
I
it.
like how
There were a
I like
lot
it.
of those here.
The convertible doesn't even fit right.
No, the top is
it looks-
jacked.
It's all jacked up.
It kind of looks, in that picture right there, it looks like
Squashed.
a Power Wheels.
Yeah, it's kind of squashed and ugly.
Anybody want to guess what moron paid for this?
Well, it's right there.
Or two
so I
morons
can't-
paid
I
for
can't-
it.
I can't read that, so I'll guess.
$72,000 for basically a Volkswagen Beetle in a dress.
Yeah, no. No.
Did you see the controversy surrounding one car just like this, except possibly real, but maybe
One and a-
faked?
yeah,
and
1.5
Jerry
million.
Seinfeld.
Jerry Seinfeld.
When I read the article about it, it said that Jerry Seinfeld had been contacted by the purchaser, was working with the guy, wanted to make it right. If it wasn't real, he was gonna make it right, and then all of a sudden, lawsuit.
Yeah, he was.
Well, somebody got in his ear. Somebody got in
Yeah.
that guy's ear.
Yeah.
You should sue him.
Yeah,
You can make all kinds of money.
yeah, which I think is bullshit.
Yeah, he was trying to
At
make it right.
best, the judge should award him the value of the car.
just give him his money back, take the car back, and call
Yeah,
it a day.
just swap it
It's
out.
done.
It's just a
Shit happens.
yeah.
Nobody knew.
Yeah.
The auction house
And
didn't know.
it's not even-
Jerry Seinfeld didn't know.
It's
his-
not
his
even
team
been
didn't
proven that it's actually fake.
Yeah, I would be surprised if it is.
You got one guy's opinion that says, nah, it's fake. Then
Well, I think
like,
that's the
everyone else is
problem.
like, it's been real since.
It's a race.
Forever.
It was a race car, and no one's ever going to be able to prove. They know it's the right engine.
Yeah.
No one's ever going to be able to prove that wasn't that somebody didn't own that car, wrap it around a barrier, pull the engine out, put it in that chassis, and move on with life.
Right.
Because that was what you did with those cars.
I might tell a guy to get stuff. Be like, if I was a judge, I'd be like,
Yeah, this is just,
Sorry.
just a money grab. Just
yep.
here's your
Sorry
money
about
back.
sorry about your luck. I'm sure the guy's fucking filthy rich.
Yeah,
If he could
you
afford
don't
to buy
buy
that car.
You don't buy a $1.2 million or a
1.5
Porsche
million.
if you're not.
Yeah, he probably called his attorney and he's like, yeah, we should sue him. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
I wonder how he got his money.
Maybe he is a lawyer.
Probably is a lawyer. Yeah.
All right, Robbie, let's see what kind of on-brand shit that you purchased.
If I would have made a list, I think I would have had the hardest time making a list that Robbie would have been happy with.
Okay.
Probably would have involved more than one.
How many Toyota SUVs are on this list or pickups?
or
0.
Nissan Zs?
0.
No 240 because there
Nissans?
were a number.
One.
There's one
of
Nissan.
Z cars.
I hope
Zero
it wasn't.
Zs.
I hope it wasn't that 32 because that was expensive.
I have things set up here.
Okay,
We'll just
let's
start
do it.
this
Let's
off
do it.
because we'll go real fast. So I started off with the same Porsche you did.
Yeah, that boy. Changing
Yeah,
shit
the
in this
t-
podcast.
The 2003.
So that's half your
911.
budget gone right there.
Yep. So then that would be one half of this. So then we just
Glad.
go move
I
from
just
Porsche
want to take a moment to pause.
and enjoy this.
2 people on the podcast pro Porsche on the podcast.
I'm pro
Porsche
AMC.
cast.
A Corvair is basically an early Porsche.
So it's basically the Porsche cast. Continue with your Porsche cast list.
Okay. So I had this set up. So the first 3 that I picked would be the first half of this. And then the fourth car would be to fill out one. If I went with one, then I'd get this other car.
Okay. So let's see the 3.
One would be this Porsche. The second one would be this 1993
Yeah, I did see that.
AM General M998 Custom Humvee.
I did see this, and I wondered about it.
So I have some questions.
It seemed very cheap.
How much was it?
15.9.
Is it street legal?
It's got lights.
It is in Iowa.
But if it's a military surplus, I don't think that they can be registered.
It's got lights.
That doesn't mean it can be
It's a
registered.
kit car. It's Iowa.
Yeah, you can probably get away with it in Iowa. My second question is it a kit car? Because there are like kits you can build off of like Ford
I don't think you
Expeditions
could come
or something like that.
I don't think you call it an AM General Humvee. I
That's
think that would
well,
be.
they were pretty good about saying recreation or kit car in the name. For
Yeah.
those
I don't think
things,
that
weren't
said
they?
that on there.
So yeah, okay, I'll give you that one.
Not a fan of the 3-speed automatic transmission.
Does it have a diesel?
Yes.
Okay, then it's probably the
A
real deal.
6.2 liter diesel.
It's
That
probably,
sounds
I
correct.
think
With a GM transmission.
that early
Yes.
on, those were naturally aspirated diesels, and they were just god awful slow.
It's got a 25-gallon fuel tank and 300 miles of range, allegedly.
That's not very good.
No, but I'd still believe that when I saw it.
Okay.
So that would be, again, if I didn't get the Porsche, then I could get this. Then if I didn't get this,
Oh God.
I could get this. A 1969 Dodge A100 pickup. And
Robbie,
it's awesome.
I've never been more proud of you.
That
in
doesn't
my
make a
entire
damn
life.
lick of sense to me.
I've never been
Not
more
even
proud of
a
you.
little bit. What
I
are
don't-
you going to do with that?
Are you fucking kidding me? You're gonna drive that to work every day and be smiling from ear
What
to ear.
wouldn't I do with this?
I don't think you would
You're
drive that to
so
work.
rad. No, he wouldn't.
This
I think
is
he.
wonderful.
You know what? I'll say it. I think Robbie, if he drove that, would fucking hate it.
I would love it.
I'll let you drive our 70 GMC pickup,
Or
Yes,
I'll,
please.
which
or
has better gearing than that.
I'll get my dad's Scout.
I would not daily this. This would be like the one thing I would do as like a show car type thing that would take
think
to
he would
Cards and
hate it.
Coffee.
I think you would hate it.
It's neat. It's super neat.
For the reason that we enjoy really old cars like this, I think Robbie would hate it.
$17,000, huh?
Yeah.
They're annoyingly expensive. The Corvair version of that did get sold on this auction. Now, I don't know. I didn't even look at it. The one picture they had as the thumbnail, it looked to be a very, very immaculate car. $44,000.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So
I've always liked
these
pickups.
like weird van pickup
Van pickups.
things have become quite valuable,
Yes.
which is a real bum deal because I love them.
What else you got, Robbie?
And then to fill out whatever one of these three I bought, I would get this 2002 Miata MX-5 convertible. They only want $7,700 for it.
What?
It's all like immaculate.
Seems
Just
like
a
a
fill-
lot
What
of money
podcast
for-
is this?
Seems like a lot
Did
of
somebody
money
else
for-
I
steal
need,
our
I need something to
podcast?
take to the track.
Did somebody
so that I
else
can just-
steal our
I'm
podcast
using
and do it
house
for
money.
us?
I got to fill out my
How
budget.
much match should have we talked about Miatas, and then you just choose a Miata?
It's
not
also
a big
like
deal.
kind of expensive for a Miata.
Yeah. Well, it's
It's a lot of money for a Miata.
kind of like the fact that it's flawless, so I could fuck it up.
You know what?
Because
I'm good with that.
somebody's gonna look at this and go, man, that thing is just pristine.
How many miles are on it? Is it real low mileage?
I think so.
I can't imagine. Was that an NB? Did that have pop-ups or no?
It's got 54,000 miles, which is really surprising for
It's
how
not
great a
that
shape
much.
it is.
That is an NB. Okay.
Yeah.
So that 1.8 liter then, and yeah, I mean that's the Miata to have.
Yeah, just take it and turn it into a race car, and if anybody has a problem with it, well, it's mine. I bought it with house money.
True.
You know, that being pulled behind that Dodge pickup van thing they had would be the most
The most
hilarious-
miserable experience of my
Nope.
entire life.
Yes, but it would be the most hilarious sight you've ever seen.
Thanks,
if you're
Robbie. I'll
cruising
take a
down the
different mode of
interstate.
transportation in
Or
your
the
life.
Hummer.
That would also probably be the most miserable experience.
That would be a combination. If you
Could you
pulled
put-
into a track day with a Hummer and a
Miata.
Miata on the back, get the fuck out of here, man. Are you kidding me?
If you had the Hummer, you could lay down in the back. You
Yeah.
were talking about laying down in the back of the Avalanche. You could actually lay down sideways in the back of the Hummer.
What do you think you're going to do with the
Quite
back of that
comfortably.
truck?
Yeah, it's
Not outside. You're not going to lay in the
No,
back of
you're
the
gonna lay
pickup.
under the
truck.
stars
No, you're
and
not.
enjoy your
Bullshit.
night.
You could put a
It
tent
fucking rains every time we go anywhere. You're not laying in the back of that
We
pickup.
we probably need to downplay that a little bit because we're kind of getting to the point where people like want us to come to their events.
And it always rains. Or
yeah, so we
snows.
might want to downplay that a little bit.
It's too late.
Robbie's not doing some ancient ritual rain voodoo dance when we get there. It's not like we're doing it on purpose.
I know, but we apparently bring it with us.
Absolutely not. We drove to a place
Which-
and they had rain.
Which was the first person of us to say #wet? It was you.
I don't know that that's true.
Oh, shit.
That's hard to prove.
That is not hard to prove.
Somebody needs to find it.
I have a T-shirt right here. I have a Kanga Motorsports T-shirt to the first person that can give me a timestamp. Look at that timestamp for when Adam said "wet"
The
for the
first
first
time.
time.
I feel like that was probably Michael.
I don't think so. I
I think I was saying lit.
You were making fun of lit. I'm pretty sure. Or did
I don't know.
Did I say it?
I don't know, man. Does it matter?
T-shirt to the person that can find the first time any of us says "wet."
#wet.
#wet.
If
If it's Adam,
I could even give you a show, but I'm not going to make it that easy.
No.
if it's Adam, I'll give you this Porsche Christmas ornament.
Yep.
Boom.
Why is it always me that you guys are witch hunting? What's up with that? What did I do to you
You
assholes?
didn't do it to us. You did it to the fans.
I didn't do anything. They love me. We're just trying to get repeats on our downloads to bump that number.
Just check out those post Grid Life episodes, please.
So options for you to win things on this show are get yourself tattooed.
One.
Get that tattoo on.
That's cash money.
A tramp stamp. That's $200. Find when Adam lied to us about wet. I'll give you a T-shirt and a Porsche ornament.
Also,
How did this
find when
become my fault?
Adam lied to us about saying he'd never own a minivan.
I think that has at this point been proven to never have happened.
I also have this petrol box. There's this shit over here. I have this petrol box.
Stuff's getting sent.
I have
to
this
you.
petrol box air freshener that you can put in your car. That's another option. What else is over here? Oh shit!
Stickers?
I got a bunch of stickers.
So
that
many
aren't ours.
SCCA stickers.
Yep.
Apex Pro stickers?
Yep.
What else do we have? Is there some other things?
I can't imagine there's not.
I have
King of
way
Motorsports?
more King of Motorsports stickers than I thought. I don't know. Just find it and message the timestamp and send it to somebody.
We'll send you stuff.
I don't understand why that was my fault. I don't even think it was my fault. You're going to feel like a real shithole when it was your fault, huh, Robbie?
Nah.
He won't lose a second of sleep.
I'm so tired. I'm going to go to sleep anyways. Don't
He's
matter.
going to fall straight asleep.
All right. Well, then realistically, this is what I would buy because I'm playing with house money. It is a
Yeah, it was a
1990 Nissan Skyline GTR.
Yeah.
Sold $27,500.
I saw that car
It
and I
is
thought,
flawless.
I wonder if Robbie will just pick a car.
I tried not to, and then I came across this one. Yep.
There were a handful of those,
Yep.
and the first couple I saw were top above 30, like 32
Yeah.
to more. And then there was that one. I was like, well, I think that's going to be hard for him to walk away from.
Yeah, I like this. The glossy black. I thought this one looked the best out of all of them. This one's the cheapest, so it was a win-win.
Yeah, I'd have a hard time probably walking away from that car, too. If I didn't get the Porsche, I'd be bidding on that.
27 is pretty high, but if it wasn't my money and I could just slap it down, turn around, take the title, and leave, I'm like, yeah, then that's the car I would buy.
So a couple of things I took away from this whole deal. Number one, if you're in the market for like 90s and early 2000s European luxury cars that are terrible financial decisions but very cheap, go to Barrett Jackson. Mercedes, BMW 7 Series. There was a Phaeton.
Yeah, I saw that. That was
There
cheap.
was it sold in the 30s. It was over 30, so it couldn't be on our list. But a $30,000 Continental, a Bentley Continental
Yep.
for 30 grand.
I didn't even open those.
There was
Wasn't even worth
a convertible GT that sold for south of 50. Like,
Damn.
if you want to make some really poor decisions at not really that bad of prices, there's some really good cars to be made or to be bought there.
Well, if I bought my list, I'd sell the Genesis because there'd be. I'd just drive that S55 all day.
There was like a 740 IL on there for like $6 grand or something like that. It was right in there with like your S550, but it was a 7 Series. Nothing. There were multiple BMWs and the Phaeton. Like, that's not a joke of a car, but it's probably a terrible car too.
It's the worst car.
But it's kind of a great car.
It's
too.
a terrible car.
But it's super
Having
cool.
flashbacks of my Golf, but like
On
way
steroids.
more expensive problems.
But it'd be cool.
How the hell do you spell
No, it's
Phaeton?
not. It's Phaeton.
Yeah. My biggest problem with it is that it was specifically designed to be incredibly understated, and that's lame to me. If I'm going to buy something like that, I want like an AMG or something like that. Just kind of shouts it at you. You know
That's that would have been like one of the very last ones.
Yeah, that's a newer.
That's a clean.
I literally have
one.
no idea which one was
Yeah,
on the
no,
site.
that's okay.
No, you're fine.
I
But
just
that's
needed a
that's a
picture.
newer Phaeton. But, yeah, that was a larger variety of cars than I had thought there would
That's
be.
basically a Bentley Continental
With a Volkswagen
GT
badge
with a
on it.
Volkswagen badge on it.
Yeah, TDI diesel.
It's the same. No, it's
They had
a,
a
it's a W12.
You could get them with a W12. You can get them with a TDI.
I thought so. I'd say this one,
Yeah, you can get them with a TDI.
This one's a TDI.
But you can also get them with a W12 in them.
I don't want it.
Can you imagine the horror of owning a W12?
No, I want a TDI.
Did you know that? I'm sure you did. They made that 4Motion W8 Jetta.
Yeah.
Could you imagine owning that?
No.
No.
A W8?
That sounds miserable.
No, I'm out.
It's a strange little motor. So
Yep. All right.
I don't know. There were a bunch of Z cars, which I thought was kind of cool, kind of interesting. I'm surprised that Robbie didn't grab one of those in some way. Vipers are getting down there, Robbie.
I'm aware.
Your Viper dreams are not that far from reality.
Robbie. Join me in making incredibly bad financial decisions.
Vipers were.
I just bought a Z.
There
man.
were more than one less than 50. There was one that was almost in our budget.
Oh yeah, you can get one for 30.
It was like
you can.
It was like
you can find them for 30.
It was like either a second or a third gen.
That's exactly what I
The
want.
first gen was more expensive.
I don't want that. I want the second gen, the coupe.
Here's a 2000
on that.
RT10, 14,000 miles, $36,000. It's the first one that came.
Yeah, that's the.
This is the one you want.
No, I don't. No, I want the coupe. I want the not the RT10. What's the other one? The GTS.
The GT.
Yeah,
That's what you want.
GTS.
I want the GTS.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
I don't care what the horsepowers are or any of that. I want the blue one with the white stripes. That's all I want.
I would have a hard time deciding whether I want mine white with blue or blue with white, and wouldn't be mad about either.
Yeah, they're both. It's the right answer either way.
Yeah.
96. That's what I want.
And I would happily own mine in yellow as well.
Yes.
Yes,
of
that's
course.
But yeah, that is the Viper down for sure.
Yeah, that is on the short list of vehicles I would chase after and do gross things for.
Come on. Let's do it.
Come over here,
I got
Robbie.
two projects already.
Get rid of that shit.
Some of them.
No, I'm not
Yeah,
getting.
shit.
I love my cars.
Race car. No, you don't need a race car.
You haven't even driven the Z. You don't know.
I still love it.
You don't know.
I'm so happy that I have it.
Here is one. I know it's not the one you want. 1994 Dodge Viper, 29,995. Robbie. Here's another one.
It's good value.
1994, 29,900.
And Vipers,
33.4.
I say Vipers separate the men from the boys on track. 'Cause
That's
if
what they say,
If you
anyway.
can't drive one,
Well, then why
You
do you
die.
even have a track car?
I can't afford a Viper, and I can't afford to fuck up a Viper.
You can't afford a Viper with that attitude.
You're saying I should just like, if I paint myself into a corner, I will find a way out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
You need to be car rich and house poor, Robbie.
I do want to be hood rich.
28,750.
It's good
You
value.
almost can't afford not to.
Why couldn't those have been at Barrett? I would have got that.
This guy has
Just-
no feedback. What could go wrong?
Sell the Avalanche, sell the 240, sell the 350, buy a Viper. Put snow tires on it, drive it to work.
Yeah, no, I would keep all of that. I would sell the house and get a really itty bitty house.
Robbie's going to double wide it for the rest of his life.
I would totally double wide it with a big shop and then just fill it with cars.
Yeah.
I would be hood rich for sure.
That's the dream, isn't it?
That's always been the dream.
This $28,000 Viper just had a $2,000 service.
Yeah, you have to buy it.
Actually, I would forget the double wide. Just build a big Morton building, loft part of it, live in that. That's the dream.
That is the dream. It really is.
That's what's up.
These early 90 ones are terrible. It's
you
got a lot of
kidding me?
engine in it.
You're talking like 93, 92?
Is this
that
a 94?
Gen 1?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that
96.
gen that he's got there, or is it the one before?
One before
The
it.
one before
Okay,
it.
yeah, that's the one not to own, but also was the more expensive one of the ones that were sold at Barrett Jackson.
You could have an SRT 10 Ram 1500 2005 for $19,990.
Actually, there was one of those on the Barrett Jackson under 30.
It's good value.
Think of the amount of towing you could do with a
do all-
V10.
Probably not that
Not
many.
great.
I bet
What are
it
you
doesn't-
what are you talking about? It makes 150 more horsepower than what he has right now. That's
bet
not
it-
going to tow it. Just not going
I
to
bet
tow
it doesn't have that good a towing capacity.
I'll bet it's
on it.
terrible, actually.
Suspension probably not the best for
it. With
that.
a manual.
They do have a manual, 6-speed manual.
God, that'd be fucking awful.
It would be so cool. Are you kidding
0 to
me?
16 4.9 seconds. What's the worst that could happen?
That'd be fun.
That'd be the best.
Makes the best noises.
Oh, God.
I would love that.
All right, let's move it on. Let's do some news.
All right.
All right, first item here, Lexus LS. Sales have more than doubled. It's a sedan. People are buying the vacuum Predator grill.
Who the fuck wrote this article?
The Drive wrote it, Robbie. Not Jalopnik, as you might have
Sometimes
originally
I
assumed.
enjoy finding articles that are poorly written, but have things that I kind of want to talk about, but I just want to see how upset people get about it.
I'm angry. This is bad.
He's-
Bad.
You've literally
journalism.
just almost
break
devoted
him?
an entire episode to making Robbie very angry when he's tired.
And I didn't even mean to.
I'm not mad at you at all.
No, if anything, you should be happy that I brought this to light.
Yeah, I want people to know that this is horse shit writing. This is
Lay it on me, Robbie. What's wrong with it?
okay. So they're trying to tell us that people don't want sedans and that all these other car companies are wrong to get rid of the sedans. because people are buying Lexuses.
Yeah.
Their sales are up
Left
100.
and right.
They're up 125%.
Yeah.
To 9,000. Are you fucking kidding me? 9,000.
If you do want to buy a car, if you want a 4-door car, your options are getting smaller and smaller and smaller almost by the day, which means inherently that who is left, their sales are going to go up.
Yes. I just wanted to point out that the Chevy Impala,
which they referenced in this.
Which they referenced.
To comparing it to an LS.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, the Impala, they killed it because it was failing. But the LS, sales are up,
Killing
man.
it.
Killing it. Everyone wants sedans.
More than double.
In 2010, they sold 172,000 Impalas. In 2018, they sold 56,000. And they killed it for failing.
Right.
They were not selling enough.
And how many LSs did they sell?
9,000.
But Lexus isn't about volume.
It's basically a $90,000 car.
Yeah, it's a luxury brand. Selling $90,000 cars is not a bad day.
Or you could sell 50,000 Impalas. Who made more money?
Probably Lexus.
Probably
honestly.
Lexus, yeah.
No.
More profit?
Oh, I bet they did.
I'll bet it was Lexus.
It's a premium item.
They
I bet
sold
it was
5 times more of the Impalas.
But I'll bet that they make less money per car.
They're not making 5 times less. That's impossible.
I don't know, man.
You cannot sell that many cars and only make that little bit of a margin on them.
Well, if you listen to what they say, they lose money on every car they sell.
Well, then if they're losing money, Lexus ain't making 5 times more.
Well, that's fair. All you got to make is $5 if GM's losing money.
There you go.
Yeah, and it costs 4 times more than a Impala.
Yeah.
Each one does.
Yeah. But I'll bet the cost to manufacture that car is not scaled.
No, it's probably not.
It
It's
doesn't.
probably not
It doesn't cost
astronomically.
4 times more to make an LS than it does an Impala.
Right.
Even though it costs 4 times more.
That's
Right.
probably
to
true.
the consumer. This is where they're making money. This is their pickup truck.
Right.
Yeah, if they want to make money, they need to sell pickup trucks.
They do. They're called
said it is, sell
Nissans,
pickups.
and they sell all right. No, sorry. Toyotas, aren't
Yep,
they?
there it is.
I was
My
gonna
bad.
let you catch
That's
that
an
one.
Infinity. Interesting. This is how much I care about about luxury brands.
So by comparison, the S Class is $12,000 more
Yep.
to start with, unless you get an AMG package, which then money is no object to you, so
Let's
it
not
doesn't really
talk
matter. They sold 15,000 cars, and that car is quite a bit out of date at this point.
Right.
The Lexus is brand new. They kind of like shoved that in at the end of the article. It's a new model, and like, well, shit, they sold more. It's the first year for this design.
Yeah.
People always wait if they like everybody.
Yeah,
if there's a
last year
bunch
would
of
be
press
bad.
out in 2018 about how they're going to make, or in 2017, like, oh, there's a new car coming next year. You're going to
Yeah.
wait
Yeah.
unless you get a really good deal.
I might buy that one anyway.
The last year.
I'm still not convinced that you should ever buy the first gen of anything.
You should definitely not the first gen.
You know, electronics or any. Well, I suppose that
It'd be
this point-
the next generation of what was
at
already
this
out.
point, that's probably I mean, it might be heavy, but it's probably still at some level of facelift. It's probably safe to buy that car
Yeah, your second gen.
because it's
or third or
very,
whatever it
very
is.
similar to the last one.
Right. Yeah, they're not completely getting a new car. It's
And even
So it
when
should be an improvement.
at this point in our manufacturing of cars, even when they are like new chassis, new engines, and all that stuff, there's still evolutions of the last one. Let's be real here.
Yes.
So
Yeah, they don't throw away everything they learned on the last car.
Right.
Usually.
that's the point.
And he ended the article with they sold 43,000 in 1990,
Oh, they're killing it.
which at that time Lexus was like a new brand.
Yep.
I mean, that's quite a feat. That's a
I know
lot of
more
cars.
than one person that still owns one of those.
Yeah, that's still a relatively common car. Like you can find
LS
them.
400s are around.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
And they're
Yep.
pretty sweet.
They're nice
Yep,
cars.
and they're cheap.
That'd be
quite
a much
comfy.
better buy.
Chaz's is a very nice car. Very option loaded, quite comfortable back seats, front seats. Like it's a very good option.
And it's got
Especially for
and you can
the price
put like
point.
300,000 miles on it.
And there's a lot of those that are still owned by the first person that bought it 25 years ago.
Yep.
and they bought it just before they were retiring, and it's done nothing but be babied and serviced at the dealer. And now it's $4,000.
That's a great car.
So,
Self-driving cars could increase traffic because they're avoiding parking, more or less. They're just going to drive around. They drop you off. Instead of trying to find a parking spot,
so what you do,
just going to drive around.
You have your self-driving car. You got in it, and it took you to the grocery store. And rather than, well, the grocery store may not be. Say you live in I think what they're saying is like you live
San Francisco was the example that they used.
Yeah. Do you have to pay to like park at the grocery store, you think?
Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. If it's a parking garage, you pay.
Think about if you went downtown to the Hy-Vee downtown.
Okay.
You'd have to
in the
pay
parking
to,
garage.
You'd have to pay to
So
park.
then instead of putting the car in the parking garage, you just let it circle the block until you're done.
Yep.
To avoid paying for the parking.
Well,
That's
yes.
what they're suggesting here.
Well, if it's a ride, or is this? If it's a ride-hailing thing, in theory, you wouldn't want to stop anyways because you want someone to.
That's for me. This is where this kind of falls apart because I think you're looking at those two things exclusively, and I don't think that's how it's going to be utilized in San Francisco or downtown New York City. I think people will primarily use Uber or Lyft to hire a car to take them somewhere, and then they'll use it again when they go to leave.
Yeah, they're not taking the same car back.
Or they're walking, so they're not. Right.
Yeah.
I don't think
this would be if you owned your own self-driving car and you got in it in your garage and you took it to the grocery store and then you brought it back home again. That's how this would happen.
Right.
But I think that's a small portion of the population. Because even if we did that here, when we got to the point where we had self-driving cars, we wouldn't go to a place where you couldn't park the car.
Right.
So then it doesn't make any... This argument doesn't make any sense at that point.
I think the whole thing, no matter how you look at it, doesn't make any sense.
Yes. They're looking at things exclusively. Like,
I think
it's the same amount of cars, same amount of people going places, but now nobody parks. And there's more cars somehow. I don't know. There's more cars than there were before.
Would it really be... I mean, I guess parking might be that out of control. I can't imagine that it would make sense to just let your car drive around for an hour and a half while you're grocery shopping.
What kind of grocery shopping are you doing? Oh my God!
Well,
if I spent that much in there, I'd blow my brains out.
Or whatever. I'm sure that your grocery trip and mine are probably drastic.
They are very different. I'm sure
because you probably know what you're getting before you walk in there.
Get the fuck out of there.
I don't have any idea what I'm purchasing when I walk in that door.
That's dangerous. You are.
I have a rough
brave
idea.
Man.
I have a rough idea. Well, in all reality, like we'll go in there and be like, "Oh, what are we gonna get?" And we'll talk about it, and then we'll get the same shit we got last week. I mean,
That's walking into a store hungry with an empty cart, man. That's
what kind of?
I do it every week. Robbie.
What are your grocery shopping habits, Robbie?
I will make a short list of what I need.
Okay.
I will run out of one of those things and then go, shoot, I need to get more coffee. So then I will go to the gym, walk over to Hy-Vee,
Okay.
cross off everything on my list in my little basket.
Okay.
And when my basket's full,
Yep.
or if my list is empty,
Yes.
I go check out.
Okay.
And then I get home and go, I
forgot all this other
I
shit.
needed bread or whatever.
So you do that like twice a week, or?
I'll do it twice a week.
So
At least once, sometimes twice.
we have an app that is joint between the two of us, and you can like share a list.
Oh, sure. Yep.
Yeah.
And so, like, you know, I try to make my lunch for work most days of the week. I try not to eat out more than one day a week.
Sure.
And so, like, I'll make my sandwich for the day or something. I'll be like, oh, shit, I'm almost out of bread. Throw it on the list.
Yes.
Makes sense.
That's usually what we do. But, like, we don't generally plan what we're going to have for meals that week before we get to the grocery store. So, like, incidentals, like, oh, Logan's out of juice or whatever, like, that'll go on the list.
Okay.
But then when we decide what we're going to eat that week as a family, that we usually plan on the fly.
Oh, see, I'll go through the recipe book and then like write down everything I don't have, and then.
Oh no, you cook differently than I do, though.
Yes, I do.
I'm perfectly okay with making like a hamburger helper most nights.
No, mine's more from scratch.
I don't have time for that.
Repetition is my friend
with real ginger
when it comes to food.
My problem is that it's
Food at
not
home.
uncommon for me to get home at 7 or 7:30 at night,
Yeah.
and by then the last thing I want to do is fucking make tuna steaks from scratch. Like
That's
Chef
easy. That takes like
Robbie over
a
here.
second.
You
No,
know what I mean.
I'm talking like peanut chicken from scratch, and
No, that sounds like something I'm never gonna do.
yeah, that's the way to do it. I'll go to the gym, grab all that stuff, come home, and then do it. So like, yeah, I don't start till 7.
Well, yeah, but you don't have to put a kid to bed either.
I got two whiny dogs.
That is not the same, Robbie. It's not the same.
You're right. There's two of them.
No. No, because I have a dog, and trust me, it's not the same.
I got a very needy.
He's got to offend you a little bit.
bull,
You
yeah.
offended him a lot.
That pit bull never stops whining, man. Doesn't know if he wants to be inside, outside, wants to be alone next to you. Man,
They tend to do that.
this dog.
So this is all predicated on the idea that it costs 50 cents a mile to keep a car moving versus whatever the parking would cost.
Like $6 an hour.
So the argument is, well, yeah, maybe. The argument is, yeah, if you're in there for a half hour and the car's only got to drive around for a mile, it makes sense for the car to drive around. Now, of course, they could always come in and there could be regulation on that. Like, hey, you can't just let your car drive around town. That's added traffic. It creates a safety issue. If you're not, if you're not in the car, it needs to be parked.
Yeah, so who's gonna? Yeah, say that's only gonna work if it's a ride-hailing thing. And I didn't even make that connection as if someone was gonna take their self-driving car to the grocery store, get out of it, and let their personal vehicle just roam.
Yeah,
until
that's what they would have to do in order for this to make sense.
That doesn't make any sense.
Because no one's going to stay on the meter if it's a ride-hail taxi type
right?
thing.
No, they wouldn't.
And why would you let your car just roam?
There's no way I'd let my car roam.
No, you park it and then it's right there.
And I'm like overly trusting of people in my car anyway, and I would never just let it drive aimlessly about by itself.
No, it's stupid. And it's stupid to think that people would.
The other thing
they'll
is
step
like,
in and say you can't do
I think
the government.
I think the other thing is that like everybody keeps saying self-driving cars are going to make traffic less of an issue. Because all these cars are talking to each other, they're communicating with each other, they're communicating with the traffic control systems. And so everything's flowing better because we don't have idiots. Everything's smart.
Right.
Right?
There's so many idiots out there.
Right. But if all the cars are driving themselves and the idiots are no longer in control, everything should work smoother. So at that point, it might actually make sense not to park cars and not to have parking lots because they're huge wastes of space in urban centers that we don't have much of.
That only works in a vacuum or a bubble because, if you're assuming that the cars don't have any other interactions like with humans. So like a car coming off to get to stop to get somebody, well, that interrupts your traffic. It's like someone crossing the road that interrupts your traffic. So
I still think you have a lane you pull off on.
Right.
I do think that as autonomy progresses, whether you own it or it's ride hailing, I do think they're going to try and cut back on the amount of parking we have available.
Yeah, I'd say letting the vehicle be more roam, for lack of a better term, for a ride hail, that makes sense.
It would have to.
They're not going to stop.
No, they shouldn't.
Right. So I don't know.
Parking structures are probably the bane of a land developer's existence.
Yep.
And incredibly space wasting.
Yep. And expensive.
For what
and
they annoying and high upkeep and difficult to maintain in the winter when you have snowstorms and stuff like that. And like, if we didn't have to have them, a lot of people would be pretty fucking happy about it. So
very true.
I don't know.
Anyway,
it seemed like a really stupid study in general, and I still really want to know who the fuck is paying these people.
Yes, it seems like there was.
How do we get in on this? How do we get
in
in on this study money?
I don't know.
That's where I'm at on it.
Submit a hypothesis to somebody. Get that money.
Yeah, somebody got a master's degree out of that.
Yeah, or had one, or has a doctorate.
No, that was somebody's thesis statement.
Yep. No, I bet somebody had a doctorate. The person that published that, I bet they had a doctorate already. Deal with that.
Christ.
He makes $200,000 a year. Deal with that.
I know. That's what upsets me. And he's probably mostly wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh well.
It's all theoretical. It doesn't have to be right.
I know. That's the thing.
Right.
There's no consequence to him being right or wrong. There's no consequence to it.
It's a study. It's not.
You should have been a meteorologist if you were pissed about this. You should be wrong all the time.
There's way more consequence to him being right or wrong than there is that guy.
Maybe.
No,
that
there
guy,
for sure is.
No, that guy could influence policy.
Yeah, but
that guy's a
the
problem.
weatherman influences my decision to go to work tomorrow. I'm already.
No, I'm not worried about that.
I'm already on an hour late start tomorrow.
I'm worried about the moron that produces a study that gets picked up by a lobbyist,
A politician.
and run with millions and millions of dollars behind an idea. Those people are dangerous.
No, you're right. I'll give you that one.
Very.
You got a good point there.
The Sauber F1 team is going to be renamed the Alfa Romeo Racing Team.
It's really too bad that their engine's never going to make it through a race.
I don't think they're going to run an Alpha anyway. I want to know how the fuck Alpha has enough money to float a Formula One team.
That's
Because there's no way they're selling
It's
that
fiat
many
money.
Stelvios.
It's that fiat money.
Yep. It's not necessarily Alpha money.
Right.
If you use the Alpha nameplate, Alpha's been racing since 1910.
Yeah.
Heritage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not-
it's the
not-
Ferrari. It's the
not
Ferrari
it's not,
factory.
yeah, say it's not the FCA or whatever.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what it is, but they put Alpha
The
out.
Fiat
Right.
Chrysler Racing Organization. It's
Right.
the Alfa
But-
Romeo.
Yeah.
Do you think that this... They'd have to be able to justify that by selling Fiats.
Do they though?
Right.
Or can they just do what the hell they
well,
want?
I guess they can't call it the Ram Jeep Formula One team.
They should.
Maybe they should,
I might
Robbie.
watch. There, that's how you get F1 into America.
Yeah.
Into American
Yeah,
households
absolutely.
right there.
It's the Dodge Ram Formula One team.
Woo! They're all wearing cowboy hats and shit kickers.
Yeehaw!
All right, I'm in on that.
Yeah.
They need an American driver then.
Yeah, you can't have some
It's
French
gonna be.
guy.
It's gonna be.
I would
It's gonna be
would
Junior.
accept
It's gotta be Junior.
That'd
I
be
would
awesome.
accept an Australian driver.
I'll allow it.
That's my
Okay.
only
Junior and a dude that's raced V8 supercars.
yeah, I'm good with that.
That's the best Formula One team.
It's They could start a GoFundMe. I'd send them some money.
I don't know.
I'd buy that hat.
Yeah,
would
it's
be
the
a
it's
hell of
the-
a GoFundMe
It's the Ram
campaign.
Jeep Wrangler Mountain Dew
Yeehaw!
Cheetos Formula One team.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Watch that
That'd be
every
great.
weekend.
That livery would be fucking lit.
It would be. It'd be crazy.
I'd wear that shirt just with all those logos,
All
and
the
colors
logos and stuff.
Yeah.
Wear their flip flops.
Junior talking about
be way better
Wranglers?
than McLaren.
Yeah.
flip-flops.
My Wrangler jeans.
Yeah, start buying Wranglers.
Buy some Wrangler jeans.
I like Wranglers.
Yeah.
They're comfy.
Yeah.
They last a long time. They're great.
It'd be like the opposite of the Ricky Bobby story.
Yep.
It would be the exact opposite of that. It'd be great.
Yeah, it would be like
But then the Europeans could make their own version of Talladega Nights.
right.
That's
So
fine.
would
See, like,
then would
that's
they
built-in
have
entertainment value.
would they
right
have
there.
would they have the American guy like drinking a beer and smoking a cigarette?
He's coming in. He's punching you in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta
You
know he's
French asshole.
No, not,
Oh,
he's not,
bam.
not just smoking a cigarette. He has like a big old dip in.
Get that dip
Or
in.
maybe he's vaping. Is that an American thing? Is that decidedly American?
That's the youth. All of the
I don't know what
youths.
this Vichy schwa shit is. He's punching French people in the face. Like, he must be stopped and they're smoking their little thin cigarettes.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's there with a big old Marlboro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Reds.
Yeah. Bring back Marlboro.
Hundreds.
Red Hunters. God, that hurts. In case
That's
you're
a
wondering.
cigarette.
In case you're wondering.
Yeah, it's good
It's a
stuff.
band
It's no
cigarette.
Camel, no filter, but it's a cigarette.
I feel like we just fixed F1. We just fixed the whole thing.
We'll send him a note and title or put my son's name on it, and
Yeah.
then they might take it seriously, just like
as
we
long,
talked about
as
last
long as it
week.
doesn't go to Bernie.
He's done.
He's there, though, isn't he?
It's a-
Hanging out?
I think
he's
he's
like
like the Queen of England at this point.
Yeah,
I
he's
don't
there,
think he has
but not-
any power in any way, shape, or form. They just like can't get rid of the guy.
Yeah, well, as long as we don't address it to him.
Is
and
he
doesn't
even
throw it
really
away.
a living person? That guy looked like he's dead for a long time.
What's his last name again?
Ecclestone.
Yeah, I can never. Eccleston. Bernie Eccleston.
He looks very.
His face is not. It's not great.
No, that's what I'm saying, man. He looks like he's been dead.
That's a wig
For a
too. There's no
long
way
time.
that's real hair.
I think he's a
Yeah,
robot.
he looks in rough shape.
I think
for
he's
long
like
time.
a head in a jar, like Futurama. They just put that on his put it on his robot body, and he goes out into public. He has the money to
That's the
support
perfect
it.
picture.
There's nothing.
That's a perfect picture. Just grumpy looking and
He's like a million years old too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. He was old when he got into Formula One
the
in
80s.
like 70s or 80s.
yeah, whatever, whatever year that
Isn't
was.
his wife like 35 or
Yeah,
something?
she's
Absolute
like
smoke
25.
show.
Yeah,
She's
she's a model or
she's
something.
Yeah, supermodel.
I mean, he's a billionaire. I get it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
It's frustrating.
Oh my god. Wow. She's like a foot taller than him too.
Yes.
Oh my god, her in heels. She's literally a foot taller than him. She's. That's all right. Whatever. Look at it.
He comes up to her shoulder.
Holy crap.
If somebody
There's
tells
no
you
way that she married him for love. She didn't do it.
money can buy love.
No, well, right, yeah. But she doesn't, like, love him.
I bet she's loyal. That's really all that matters.
She's going to be
What
like...
is love anyway?
She's going to be
If she's-
like
if
turning
she's
her head to
kind-
the side. At the funeral, she's going to be like turning her head away and like putting Visine drops in and then like looking at the camera.
You know what? If she's kind, loyal, supportive,
These hoes ain't loyal, Robbie.
for $1 billion, I bet they are.
I bet they're not.
I'll
What
bet-
do they care?
Because I'll bet she signed an ironclad prenup.
Yep,
Nah.
I bet she did.
I'll bet
oh,
she
this
gets-
gentleman, this very wealthy gentleman that has
There's-
been wealthy for a long time.
Yeah,
I
there
bet so.
is no way she gets a dime if they
The thing
get
is that
divorced.
she's living a lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
And she's meeting all these other high-profile billionaires every single day. What does she care? In a week, she'll be in bed with another one. It doesn't matter, Robbie.
Wow, this guy thinks really low.
That's the life
Apparently
she's
he
living.
does. I don't know. I was giving her the benefit of the
I was
doubt.
too.
Nah.
He's 87. She's 39. Oh. I was giving her. She looks 29. I was giving her the benefit of the doubt.
I was too. I was thinking highly of women on that one. I don't know why he had to
Not-
take it to such.
I don't know
dark
why he had
place.
to
Thinking
take it
lowly
down,
of
especially in 2019.
Women in general here.
Kind of inappropriate.
I just
Dude, he said all the hoes ain't loyal.
He did say that. He did say that.
Yeah, because that's been my catchphrase lately.
Did we ever say it on air?
I don't think I ever
so.
said it.
I don't
There's
think
not
I've
any
ever said
public
such-
record that I've said that.
In the future, when we like 10 episodes, we're like, tell us about the time Adam said the
Episode
hoes ain't-
300.
Yeah.
I was like, you guys say hoes
Yeah.
ain't loyal all the time.
Yeah.
I got. Wait,
yeah,
it'd be in the future. I've got 15 Apex Pros I'm going to give away to the first person I can find.
Yeah, that's what I was.
I'll bet
afraid
she's loyal.
I hope she is.
For $1 billion.
For Bernie's
people should be
sake, I
loyal.
hope she is. Supposedly, Liberty Media is trying to sell that shit out. They're done with it.
They're already done. It's like
already
a
done
year
it.
and a half ago.
Yeah.
They're already
Like, oh shit, nobody watches this. We got to get out of here.
They're looking for their out already.
I got like a couple grand I could throw at them if they're interested.
I mean, I can
Something
probably
to share.
I can probably shovel together some money if I had to. Call in a few favors.
Yeah, make some phone calls. We can get some investors.
Yeah,
Then we do it. We can call it 10 Tens Media.
we already are.
We do. See,
Problem
it's already
solved.
there together. The structure's already there.
Yeah.
So anyway, Alfa Romeo's going racing.
Since 1910.
Since 1910, and the last time they won is when 1951.
Yeah, I was going to say 54, but I don't think that was right.
Well, they might have. Yeah, last championship, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, it's cool. Get more factory
Sauer's
involvement.
like not a great team, but they're not the worst team on the
No.
grid either.
And
I don't
they,
think.
and they shouldn't be bad next year.
I think they'll be all right.
With Kimmy.
I think they'll be fine. Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah.
Kimmy's there now. Yeah, they might be all right
They,
next
they
year.
should be fine. If
Maybe,
you get some factory
maybe Kimmy
backing,
knows what's going on.
I just hope they have
This could
enough.
be a good move.
I just hope they have enough money.
Well, it's still the Sauber team.
you get the Dodge Ram money, they'll be fine.
Yeah, that's true.
They're good now.
I got a new Dodge Ram. Just put Dodge Ram 1500 on the side of it.
Well, if Robbie's right
Which I
about
am
his
all the time.
predictions
Yeah.
in 2019, then they'll have more money than they know what to do with.
I'm right.
They can still have other sponsors. I mean,
Oh,
They do.
After that last episode, we talked about the 1,000 foot-pound.
1,000 foot-pound.
Yeah, the
Ram.
torque or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
It has automatic braking at full capacity, like full load, automatic braking. That's crazy.
like down a hill, or
Yeah.
how's that work?
I didn't look into it, like the specifics of it, but it has like all that technology already.
Like someone runs out in front of me and the brakes lock up.
Probably if you buy that package.
Yeah, it's like
You
even
know-
when it's fully loaded, it has all the options.
You know,
They all
pedestrian
work.
safety.
Yeah,
Man,
these trucks, man.
if I get hit by a 34,000 pounds of truck, just let it.
I was gonna say,
hit
I don't want any brakes.
Don't slow it down. Just let it hit me.
It'll hurt way less if
yeah,
you just let
that's
it happen.
what I'm saying. Just let it happen, guys.
If it stops, it'll hurt the whole time.
Yeah, I'll be
Yeah.
I'll be hurt
After
for
that.
days or years.
Years probably.
yeah, forever.
Yeah, just one split second.
I'm already. It's already like
If it can push this side of me through that side of me, just let it happen.
it's a real exercise in like self-restraint to just get out of bed every morning already. Like, I'm so sore.
Whoa, Jesus Christ, man!
I'm just so sore all the
Wow.
time. But if you're going to hit me with a truck and make it worse, no, just put
Start
me out
with
of my
that
misery.
qualifier. Start with that
Just kill me.
qualifier. We're talking about basically having yourself murdered by a
He
ram.
meant physically.
He
I
meant
thought
he
he
was
was, I thought he was
sore.
talking
I thought
emotionally.
I
No,
thought
I'm
it was like,
talking painful.
every day I lay there and go, "Fuck me, I woke up again." I didn't know what that meant.
No, I'm
That's
saying
how I
like
took it.
I'm saying like my knees are sore, my wrists are sore, my ankles are sore,
falling
my
apart, man.
my head hurts.
You're not
Just
old
I
enough-
don't.
You're not old enough to be that sore.
I know, right? That's what I'm saying. So if I get hit by a truck, it's gonna make it worse. No, just kill me.
Oh my god.
We're doing okay with it not being such a dark show. That last one we did was pretty dark.
Yeah, and we had more than one person say it's the best show we've done in
I walked away from
Bravo,
it.
excellent show.
yeah.
Yeah, I walked away from it going, people are going to stop listening.
Hey, you know what?
Best show, thanks.
Apparently we don't have any Hawkeyes fans.
Good.
Yeah, one person posted something and then that was it. It was like dead.
Cyclone
But it was
State.
a Cyclone State
Yep.
post. So I guess we don't have any Hawkeye fans. So
We don't need any sports fans of any kind.
What?
I mean, you
Straight
can,
up.
You can enjoy sports. I don't care
Eh,
as long as your cars are.
I can judge you for it though.
All right. Tell me how you feel about the Super Bowl and the Patriots, boys.
I
Couldn't give.
Do you want to know the
flying?
You want
fucks.
to know the honest to God truth? I don't know who won or the score.
I was gonna say actually, if you had told me, if you had asked who had won, I would go. I don't know if I could name both
I
teams.
don't know. I know who played, but I don't know who won, and I don't know the score. I genuinely swear to God, Wednesday the week after, have no idea.
All I know is Adam Levine needs to just go away
Calm
completely.
down.
Like just it's time for him to disappear.
I'll even say that he's worse than Imagine Dragons.
It's time for him to go.
Sorry, Booney. I just had to let you realize where you're.
Is he the one that messaged you?
He's a diehard Patriots fan.
No,
Oh.
it's
So you guys
not
just-
Imagine
you-
Dragons.
I was gonna.
He's
I was-
gonna be way
no,
more
no.
offended
I was
by
gonna be
that.
really
No, so you
upset
two
by
just
that.
shit
To
on
be
him.
honest with you, I was gonna be really upset.
I just wanted to make sure he knew what two of the three podcasters were shitting on his team and
I'm not
his
shitting on
sports,
any
and-
team. I said if you want to be a sports fan,
Let me
you
be
be a
very
sports
clear
fan.
about one thing. I don't
give
care
a
about
shit.
the Boston Red Sox either.
I got your back, Booney.
I got his back too. I just don't. I'm not going to watch
he was
sports.
talking negatively of BMW guys too, so he compared them to Porsche people, which I'm pretty sure BMW guys take offensive.
They got way offended by that.
And you know what? I think that they have every right to be.
Why would they get offended by that? What's wrong with Porsche?
Yeah, see, I'm not, I wouldn't be offended.
It's not like you're a Mercedes person. I mean, that's like the worst kind of person, isn't it?
I
How many
thought an
Mercedes
Audi-
did you pick today?
I thought an
Two
Audi
Mercedes.
person was the worst kind of person you could possibly.
Yeah,
be.
maybe.
100%.
Maybe that's true. The Mercedes guy doesn't socialize with people.
Right, and at least Mercedes aren't like terrible cars.
No, they're not.
They have some redeeming qualities.
They do. I was
As
behind
much
it.
as I used to love Audi, I can't. I can't
was-
do it anymore.
I was behind one of the naturally aspirated. I guess the new one might be too. I can't remember, but the gen before this one, C63, and it was loud, and he disappeared. I was
Right.
in the Genesis. He was gone, and he was at like half throttle.
right.
I was like, okay, might need one of those with a warranty. That's nuts.
I just find it interesting how I don't even own Audis and they still make me like sad,
Nervous.
anxious.
They make me anxious.
Like sometimes I wake up
Cold sweat.
thinking I own an Audi still, and it's terrifying.
Sometimes you wake up thinking, why did I wake up?
yeah. Well, there's that too. That's only every day though. So it's only sometimes
So
with the Audis.
some days. Yeah, with the Audi. No, Audi was every day. Why?
Well,
why
yeah,
did,
but
why did I
now
wake up
because I don't
today?
own an Audi, it's
Why did
it's
I wake
only
up today?
sometimes.
It's
Every
I still
day I
have to
think,
deal with
why
this
do I wake up?
piece of
I
shit.
got rid of the Audi, and I still wonder why I have to get out of bed every morning. So it's fine.
Before it was to pay for the Audi.
Right, but now it's
Now
just for no reason at all, and I still do it. I think we've lost Robbie.
we're bringing Robbie down.
We've lost him.
Yeah, did you know that the
Where's he at now?
that the new the Rams and the Jeeps and stuff, they'll if imminent danger is in front of you, it'll take the vehicle to complete stop if it's going less than 35 miles an hour.
Even with a 35,000 pounds behind.
Well, you're fine.
30, I'm
because
sorry, 31 miles an hour.
you're fine because it's probably going faster than 31
that's-
miles an hour anyway, so the truck will just kill you.
And it's up from 25, which was the old.
I gotta
technology.
say,
they use radar.
If you hit me with 35,000 pounds at 31 miles an hour, I'm still probably not gonna live.
Depends on how it hits you.
But the good news is he's probably going faster than that. 'Cause he's got his Cummins diesel with
Right,
1,000
yeah.
foot-pounds of torque, and he's got his foot buried in it.
They have new LEDs instead of HID. I'm sorry, you guys were dragging me down, so I'm trying to find something
It's on
positive.
FCA North America looking at a media release. I don't even know how you found that fast. Did you go to our media thing that we have?
They have
Or did you
laminated
find that
glass.
online?
They have a safety cage body structure in the new Jeeps. It's,
See, that's that shit that they tell you that they do.
They
They've
got
been doing
this-
laminated glass in cars for
they got this advanced
fucking
brake
forever.
assist.
Yeah, like
it works.
70 million years.
It works with full speed forward collision warning, plus and then it increases deceleration if driver does not apply brake, insufficient force and response to
This is
potential
not what
collision
people
condition.
listen to this podcast for.
I know you guys are all like, I can't get out of bed in the morning.
I never said
I'm
that.
just
I just can't like physically get out of bed.
Can
'cause
you
I'm
believe
so
that
sore.
these new Dodge
Can you believe
Rams?
this
Yeah,
glass?
These
That's what
new
you get
Rams,
to.
man. That's where it's at.
So-
Top sales.
Did I read this correctly on our email?
Probably not.
Since you're speaking of media things on our email and stuff.
Yeah.
The one year you chose not to go to the Chicago Auto Show, they bring in Adam Carolla.
Yes.
Perfect.
Is it too late?
Never not go again. It's well, I mean, I could go, but yeah, it's kind of too late.
Isn't it like next week?
For like my life, it's too late.
For fuck's sake.
My lifestyle. It's too late for my lifestyle.
Oh, okay. Well, when you
And by that he means he can't get off of work.
I can't get off work.
gotcha.
It's nothing to
And I'm
do
already
with-
taking off
You can't.
Wednesday.
Yeah, I'll say you can't get out of bed because you're just.
I know. I'm
sad
already
all the
taking off
time.
Wednesday.
Okay.
Next Wednesday.
Are we gonna talk about it?
We can talk about it.
Okay.
He's gonna get some mad ink, yo.
We can get
Hell
some
yeah.
ink. You got some ink too.
I do.
So that's what's up.
I think E-Man was really proud of you guys.
For getting tattoos?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
He's just disappointed in me now. And he will continue to be. Because it isn't gonna
E-Man
It's
might be
okay. I
the one that
disappointed
takes
my
the
whole
money.
family at Christmas.
by
Really?
getting it.
Oh yeah, literally. My aunt and grandma said, "No more tattoos." And I said, "I can tell you with absolute certainty, this is just the beginning. Half a sleeve is just the start." What about your job? 5 years already, and I keep moving up. I think we're fine.
In 2019, they can't fire you
As long
for
as
a
I don't-
tattoo.
yeah,
Are you
as long as
kidding
it's not
me?
something
This
offensive
isn't
on my forehead.
1955.
You could definitely sue for that.
No one cares.
You could definitely
No
sue for
one
that.
cares.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Yeah, I'm,
Like
I'm real big on the top of the hand tattoo right now.
I get that.
Our like main guy for operations at the company I work for has some word like I think it's dead even
Hell yeah, it's fucking metal, bro.
on his on his knuckles.
Dead.
So
Fucking Metallica, dude.
clearly that doesn't
But-
slow you down from advancing the corporate ladder.
But no matter what tattoos I get, none will ever beat our sponsors,
Right.
Boonies, because he has my favorite tattoo of all.
What is it?
It's block. It's block lettering,
Yeah, I know what you're gonna say now.
and all it says is "People ain't no good." It's the best tattoo of anybody ever, because it's just so true.
So true.
That's so
That's my
punk, though.
favorite.
It's so
people
It's
ain't no
deep.
good.
It's deep.
punk, meaning like the genre punk.
Yeah,
Like, it's
yeah,
such a
yeah.
punk, kind of.
Yeah, I love
like,
it.
That kind of lifestyle. It's
I honestly
fucking
don't know
awesome.
if I've ever told him that.
It's
I've
awesome.
told
Well,
told
now he
lots
knows.
of people.
Now
but
he
I've never.
knows.
I don't think I've ever actually
Why don't
told
you just
him.
get it?
No, I can't copy somebody else's
Yeah,
tattoo.
you can, absolutely. You could.
No,
Don't
it's gotta
copy
be-
his tattoo. Just ask him if he would be okay with you getting that phrase, and then let
Get it on
tattoo
your,
artist
Get it on your tramp stamp.
do something different with it. There's nothing wrong with that. That's
I could do like a whole.
That's like a connection between you and Booney.
I could follow like the Trash Polka theme and then do like a whole Trash Polka thing. And
Ask-
then this one will actually have
Yeah.
like words in it, and it'll say "People
People
ain't no good."
That's a perfect.
But then it'll have.
That's a
I
perfect.
wonder if I could add
phrase
that to
for
this one. So like "People ain't no good"
He
somewhere.
He would be totally down for that.
That'd be rad.
He's a caring, sharing individual.
Like that guy.
Yeah, I know. So that's it. We strung the last 20 minutes of that out way too long. So we'll catch you guys next week.